TB, who's this?
Happy Christmas. It's Christmas. Merry Crisis. Merry Chrysler.
It's recording.
Are we not doing the intro?
Yeah, I was going to say that. Wow, that was really fast.
We were waiting for the intro.
We already did it.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, it's already in.
We didn't even get to say who's here then. Who's in the studio?
Oh, yeah, no, because I did the Merry Chrysler thing.
Happy Christmas.
Yeah.
Merry Chrysler.
Gabe Herndon.
Hey, thanks for having me.
I'm just glad you were here in town.
Made the trip up just for this.
Yeah, you did. No, you didn't.
You want to bet?
Not a chance.
All right, so I might have came with my wife to go to her family, but in the back of my head, I was like, really just coming for this.
That's awesome of you.
It's the least I could do. Hang out with the boys.
Hey, did you guys see any of the results from the Topeka Arena cross last night?
I saw some
I actually
this
watched
morning.
the 250 main live on...
Last night?
Yeah.
Dude, how about fucking Ricky Draper?
That's what I was just
pulling
about
the
to say.
double hole shot.
Dude, red flag, coming back. Says, I'll do it again. Ain't no fluke. I got this.
And he's our age. He's 27,
He's an
I think.
older guy.
Yeah.
Old age.
Older.
Ouch.
What was the red flag? No, I didn't watch it.
So they had a couple guys on the back row, and the guy that was inside gate jumped out of the gate and got early, and he hit it, and it bounced back up for the guy on the second row, and he hit the gate and flipped over the bars.
So there's a back row for the pro class?
They run 14 guys, and there's only 12 gates.
Yeah, decent little turnout, it looked like.
Yeah, how
I was
many
gonna-
pros were there? Did they have to qualify?
There
know?
were a couple guys that didn't make it into the main. So,
I saw that Williamson kid. He's down from where I'm at. He got third. He rode pretty good.
Hey,
Not bad.
let me ask you this. Do you know him?
Yeah, I know Jeremy.
What's he like?
Jeremy's a good kid. I like Jeremy. I really do.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't mind him a bit.
I'll take your seal of approval because everything that I've ever heard about him makes him sound like a fucking jackass.
You think so?
That's just what I've heard.
I could see that. He had a bad reputation. I'd say this to his face. When Jeremy was younger, he was a little arrogant.
Yeah.
Could be. I mean, he was a quick kid. I get it. Now that he's gotten a little older, he's matured. Man, I like the hell out of that kid. He's every time I see him at the track, man, he goes out of his way to hang out with little kids and be nice. And
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, so
The stuff that you don't do, Jeff.
Too old for that shit.
yeah, he's got a tattoo, not like us, so he's not quite the degenerate that me and you could be. But
Got it.
no, he's a good kid. I do like Jeremy. He goes pretty good. So yeah,
How old a boy is he?
Dude, I don't know. I'm so old. Every kid to me now is like 18, man. I'm like, I don't know, 18, just graduated. But I think he's 21 or 22, possibly.
If you had hair, would you have gray hair by now?
Dude, I don't know. It's coming into my beard. I went to Wendy's one day to get lunch. That's super healthy, moto lunch. Yeah, because that's what the kids are
It's on
listening
the
to this
program.
for.
Spicy chicken?
Spicy chicken, dude, all day.
With or without the chocolate frosty?
Oh, no frosty, man. I was keeping it simple. Sorry to bother you.
Go ahead.
So I'm driving, and I'm like, I'm eating this, and I get done. I'm like, what the hell, man? I got something in my beard, and I try to wipe it out, thinking it was mayonnaise. Full on gray and white hairs, dude. So
That's awesome.
yeah, that's. I would assume there'd probably be some grays in this up top, but man,
Just
I
you don't want
know.
to chance it, so you just shave it all off, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, in the spots it would grow in, I don't want to chance it. I mean, it's not like I have to worry about it all over or nothing.
Yeah,
That was what I was going to. So are you like,
Oh yeah, dude, it's full on.
but like if you grow it, is it like you just have the top that doesn't
No, I mean,
grow?
there's still some
Cul-de-sac?
here. It'd be like
Yeah,
it'd be
the
like a big-
yeah.
It'd be like a kind of a big horseshoe right here. Kind of, it definitely starts way back, but it wouldn't be full on horseshoe.
Okay.
There'd be a little bit, but it's back far enough that I gave up. I said, I'm just gonna shave it. This is way easier.
It looks perfectly fine, too.
Well, luckily, that's held a lot as a kid, so my head shape's not all screwed up. It's pretty decent. So
I have all the men on my dad's side of the family has this weird knot in the back of their head, and I have it too. Everybody that my grandpa, my dad, my uncle, me, we all have this weird knot on the back of our head. It's this weird lump. And the crazy part is the skull, it's almost like from growing up too fast. There's a little ridge where my skull essentially split apart and then filled in the gap. It's a really weird feeling.
It's all that hot air in there.
A lot of thinking going on up there.
Don't hurt yourself.
That's what happens when you keep your thoughts to yourself, Scott.
A lot of brain power going. I get it.
Is it weird that we're doing this at like 11 a.m.
It's super
11:30?
weird.
Like I
Super
feel like
weird.
this is super weird.
Yeah.
Like there's sunlight coming in.
It is weird
Yeah.
that there's sunlight. It's nice though for sure because like so many times we do this. You've worked 12 hours. I've worked 12 hours. Mike's been here since 6 a.m. And then whoever we have come in, it
Worked out great for me. It's like a brunch.
Yeah.
I feel like we need mimosas in like our yoga pants or something.
A bro brunch.
We got a bro brunch going.
A bro brunch.
a brunch.
Yeah.
I definitely feel like I should have wore like some Lululemon leggings.
Well, Zach Osborne could probably hook you up with that. He's got a
Sponsored.
He's all Lulu'd out, isn't he?
Yeah. And there's a Lulu pop-up shop in Lawrence. So
Yeah. Isn't Zach like 4 foot tall though?
Yeah, you probably couldn't fit into that.
That's true.
I have no idea, but I know he probably has the tallest mechanics.
Yeah, I'm gonna text
Whatever that-
KP.
Who do you think
They're
that's
a-
like the shortest, tallest combination?
probably their average height is, you got to go with halfway between.
What is the average height of a successful Supercross rider?
I'd
I
say
don't know. I
five,
say Carmichael.
5'9".
Carmichael throws a kink in all that.
Yeah, because he's what 5'4". So I would say 5'8", 5, but just right at 5'10", maybe just under 5'10".
Don't
I keep turning my head. Don't
Yeah.
I? But I'm trying not to move the mic because then it makes noise.
That's okay. It's not the worst. It's just something that I've noticed. Don't worry. Or you just don't look at me when you talk.
I don't like looking at you anyways. So
Okay,
I'm
well, perfect.
just staring into Mike's eyes.
Great. There's definitely been some. There hasn't really been a lot of tall guys. Really. I mean, you got Benny.
Travis Preston.
Benny, Travis Preston.
Pastrana's tall guy.
I was getting ready to say, so
Jimmy
if
Button.
you just take total lack of talent and skill out of the question, I was just doomed from the get-go at 6'5".
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, you and Jimmy Button. Jimmy Button.
Oh, Jimmy Button.
Dude, he was
dare we?
tall.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jimmy Button was tall. Who was the guy that was known for being tall back in the day?
Jimmy Button.
No, before then. It was like the Larry Ward days.
Mike Bell?
Mike
Mike
Bell,
Too
maybe
Tall Bell?
him. Yeah, that's him. That's who I'm thinking.
Who was the
of. I don't
kid
know.
from Arkansas that used to ride with us? We used to always call Too Tall. Who was that kid? That's what Jimmy and Greg used to call him. I can't think of that kid's name.
Oh, no. You're talking about Heath Unruh.
No.
He was from Oklahoma.
I think the kid's name was Jeff or something.
Jeff Loop?
Maybe?
Snoop?
I don't
Snoop
remember.
Loop?
He was from California, though.
I don't remember. There's some kid that used to ride with us that was tall. I can't remember his name, though.
Did he
It's okay.
ride the pro class?
Oh, I was like 12, man. I don't remember.
Oh.
12 years old, Anadarko, first race on a 450, flat-footed on the starting line with my knees bent.
Are you serious?
Yes.
I can't even do that on my Harley.
Yes.
I can't do that now.
Yes. Dead serious. I remember that very vividly.
Yeah, do you ever panic when you pull up to the stoplight on our Harley? Like, just if you don't quite get your footing right?
I just don't stop. I'm an outlaw, man.
You
Run this
stand it like
motherfucker.
weeble
Yeah.
wobble like you're on a trials bike.
I'm like, oh no, here
Yeah.
it goes. I did drop it one day leaving the driveway.
Oh, God, that's the worst.
Dude, that
While
thing's heavy.
backing up?
No, I was following my dad. We were leaving his house, and at the time they had this Camaro, and he had like rigged up these 2x4s to get into the shop because there was a bump from the driveway to the gravel. So he leaves in front of me on his Harley, and I'm following him. And like the gate at Topeka, he hit the 2x4 and it flipped it up.
Oh.
So when I went to follow him, I just stop. And I fall over, and he's gone. He's like down the road. I'm like, oh, shit. So I get the thing picked up, man. Talk about heavy. I did not. I was
Did
like,
you also get a hernia while doing it?
I mean,
Close.
make your babies be born naked. That's what they like to say.
Is that what they like to say?
I don't think I've ever heard them say that before.
When you're picking up heavy stuff, man. I've heard people say that. When you pick up something super heavy, they say, hey, be careful, man. That'll make your babies be born naked. You
Wow.
guys, this is Southwest Missouri stuff you're getting.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah.
This is
You
not
don't get this up here around the rich folk and big city.
Us sophisticated
You
people.
sophisticated folk, you don't understand.
You know, there's basically, now that you say that, there's like 3 cliques of our industry. We have the Kansas City guys, we've got the Springfield guys, and we've got the St. Louis guys.
Yeah.
Everybody else is just kind of in between. Your Jeff City guys.
pick
You
a
kind of have to
tribe.
pick where you want to go.
Yeah, you
from
pick your
that point.
tribe. Yeah, because your St. Joe guys are basically Kansas City guys.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
funny you say that.
No, man, I'm down there where the hoot owls bang the billy goats, man. We're out in the middle of nowhere.
Whenever you go into Springfield, if you ever look at the public transportation, all of the buses have, you know how buses will have billboards on the side of them? Pretty much every single one of them is either women, infants, children ads, so WIC, food stamps, or they're for get tested for HIV, or it's for a single mother adoption programs.
I thought they were for like Yakov Smirnoff.
Sometimes there's
whatever.
divorce attorneys too.
Perfect.
But yeah, you hit the nail on the head, man.
Jeff, did you live in Springfield?
No,
No? Okay. I couldn't remember in your
just been down
your
there a
gypsy
couple
life.
times.
I couldn't remember.
Yeah,
if you
where
lived
all
down there
have
or
you
not.
lived?
Dude, we don't have enough time for that.
That's a separate show. Like, it can't even be on Over the Bars. It'd have to be.
Where have you lived for a significant amount of time? Like, would you actually call a permanent residence?
I still refer to you as living in Belton.
So,
Belton. Yeah.
Yeah.
here, obviously,
Yeah.
in many places amongst the metro area. Bloomington, Minnesota.
When did you do that? I don't remember that at all.
Quality bike products.
Yeah, whenever I was working for QBP in their
Oh, with,
warehouse. Justin Julian.
Yeah. Okay.
That would have been 2008, 7, somewhere in there. 8.
Okay.
And then Orlando.
Yeah.
So that's really it for like actual permanent
Residence.
residence.
Remember, like, your international Greyhound bus tour you went on?
I flew.
You flew?
I flew.
Didn't you take the bus at some point? No? Maybe not? This was in the MySpace days.
Yeah,
so-
I don't know. I know that I did take a mega bus to.
If we
Oh
pull
no,
up
no!
your,
I
if we
took
pull up your Zango, would you have some stories about it?
yeah, dude. I took the mega bus from Kansas City to Chicago. Okay, no, that's how I started. That's right.
Right. That's what I'm thinking of.
Okay, yeah, I took the mega bus from Kansas City to Chicago, stayed with my uncle for a week, flew from Chicago to Orlando, stayed with Samantha Starling for a week, then I flew from there to New York City. Wait.
Like New Mexico, Arizona or something.
No.
You
I got
went
it
out there,
backwards. I flew from Chicago to Reno. Stayed with some
yeah.
buddies in Reno for a week. Then Orlando for a week. And then New York City for a week with a guy that was in a band that stayed at my house. I made a buddy with this dude named Ian. So I stayed at Ian's house for a week and got 4 very different flavors of American life. And
Was there a purpose behind this tour or just to do it?
He was finding himself.
I was just getting ready to say, were you just finding your inner Jeffy?
I had some money to burn and an open, I didn't have anything I had to do. I wasn't racing at the time, so I wasn't like I had to go to the track or train or, practice, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And if we're being perfectly honest, I've got hoes. I got hoes in different area codes. I got hoes.
Get it, girl.
It was a motivating factor.
Like I said, the MySpace days.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Were these friends in your top 8?
Never.
What was your song
Never.
on MySpace? When you went to your profile, what song played?
Had to have been a throwdown song.
I don't remember. I'm sure mine had to have been probably Fall Out Boy at one point or another.
Mine was probably something from Boys Night Out.
I'm sure it switched.
Yep.
I'm sure it switched to Motley Crue.
Okay, I wish you could put some of that into this right now. Motley Crue. Were you listening to Motley Crue in the MySpace days?
Dude, I've got a fucking Motley Crue tattoo. How could I
Well,
not?
I don't know. The MySpace days. Well, maybe you were like 37 in the MySpace days.
I
don't
was.
know.
I'm surprised they let me have one.
So you know how
I'm just
like
kidding.
whenever you go ride a roller coaster and they have the "you must be this tall" measurement for MySpace, they had the "you must be under this age"
Yeah,
measurement.
I barely hit the
Gabe was-
cutoff.
yeah.
You must have a scene haircut of
Dude, I
some
play
kind.
fantasy football with these guys back home. They're all, I think the oldest one's like 27. Talk about feeling like grandpa, man.
How old are you?
33.
33. So you're not that
It's not
much
that
older,
bad,
yeah.
but playing with those guys, being that much younger, I was talking about me and Sid getting married the other day, and they were all like, yeah, that was our sophomore year of high school.
Yikes!
Wow. Cool.
Everyone here is wearing something Chiefs except me. Well, you're not necessarily wearing it, but you set a deadline of like when this has to be done so you can watch the Chiefs.
Oh, yeah.
Correct. I was wearing a Chiefs hat earlier.
Yeah.
But I did change.
I had to
Yes,
snag a
changed
Sunday
hats.
ticket login so I could try to stream the game when I drive home later this afternoon.
Let's talk about that real quick. Scott is a sick motherfucker and drinks Monsters as his AM source of caffeination.
Hey, I'm actually siding with them. I typically would, but like I said, I went through McDonald's instead today.
Do you really? You drink Monsters in the morning?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I've never, ever,
It
ever.
tastes just like a juice, man. It's just like drinking orange juice, but it wakes you up.
I guess.
I don't drink coffee. I'm not into
Period.
coffee, period. I just don't drink coffee.
I didn't know that
Yeah.
because you have coffee at your house.
Yeah, Callie drinks the shit out of it.
Oh.
I don't. I
I'll
just
do an iced coffee, but I'm with Scott, man. It's got to be like snowing and minus 10 degrees somehow for me
And
to
you're stuck
enjoy,
outside and
for me to
barefoot.
enjoy a warm coffee.
So
I have to be constipated to want coffee.
you see
Makes
this
sense.
guy right here, hot coffee right here. This
I
guy,
said the lid is stained.
I know. I drink this much coffee every morning, whether it's 115 degrees outside or negative 20.
Do you always drink hot coffee or do you throw
Always drink
it-
hot coffee in the morning. Yep, every single day.
What do you put in it?
Yeah, that was my next question.
Nothing.
Just
Straight
black,
black?
coffee.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
You want
You
to
like
take a poll of that?
Like your coffee, like you like your women?
Straight and black.
Black and bitter? Either
Dude,
way,
you
whatever.
I feel like you just big dick flexed on all of us so hard. Like, yeah, that's full on black coffee in this gigantic 5-gallon cup I have here.
It's like that saying, weird flex, but okay.
and I drink all of it every morning. Like, I feel like I'm in trouble.
Does that also fit into the like send it category? Weird flex, but okay.
No, because
Every time I read it, I kind of laugh
yeah,
when I hear weird flex, but okay. Like if used appropriately.
Yeah, I've seen some funny ones, but I don't feel like I feel like it lost its luster very fast too. I feel like
send it.
No, the
Weird flex?
Like,
Well, like most memes.
that's true. They come and go pretty quick nowadays.
Yeah,
They don't
Hey.
last. Like, I feel like in the old days they lasted longer.
dude, that's the thing. Like you
The
have
internet wasn't as fast. It was dial up.
Touche.
touche. I tip my cap to that. That's if you can capture the most. I believe right now, and this is I may have said this before, but like the most sought after, not currency, but thing that you can sell right now is. I'm blanking so bad right now.
Like a following?
I'm sorry,
Followers?
nostalgia. That's the word I'm looking for. If you can sell nostalgia, it's timeless.
Hence, like, why these new little Sony PlayStations and Nintendos are selling out so quick.
Yeah.
People are like, oh man, I can play the old games I grew up on. I'm going to get that.
Yeah, but okay, see, here's what's funny. Kids are buying PlayStation 1s now because it's like, oh, this is funny. This is what I grew up on. Which, I mean, yeah, we all played Supercross Circuit on that game until we had to buy a new disc.
Yeah, wore that thing out.
But, like, right now in my Rip and Ruts office that I have upstairs, so I've got my computer, a printer, my desk. I've got my computer, my printer, a Nintendo 64 with Rush Extreme 2. I don't have the San Francisco one, but it has, different maps on it. I've got Robotron 64, EA Sports Supercross 2000, something else.
How do you get any graphics designed with that equipment nearby?
I don't.
This is why your customer service is lacking.
And then I've got a 34-inch flat screen
But
on
you
my
know what?
desk.
On the flip side, that's the only reason I use Rip and Ruts for my graphics.
Lack of
treated
customer
like
service.
shit.
Because I'm like, all right, here's the deal. I'm getting asked for something. He's not going to do it, but it's still going to come out cool. And I know that if I call him, he's going to be like, hey, man, I'm pretty busy playing Rush 64 right now, so your graphics can wait.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, I've got like 4 or 5 kits that need to be done, but honestly, it's been so nutty at FedEx. And like I posted, hey, I'm closed. I
got mine before the holidays. I got my Pastrana kit. It just took me till the holidays to put them on.
That looks so sick, by the way.
I told you that I only did half of it one day in the garage, and I thought it looked so cool, and I got super unmotivated, and the only half has been done for like a month. Just the side you could see when you came in the garage, and the others were sitting on my gear bag waiting to be put on.
Dude, I can't tell you how jazzed I was yesterday to finally put all my muffler shit on my bike because I bought the plastics for my Cherubies, and then I've had those graphics sitting around for a while, and then
Yeah.
I put the stickers on the plastics one night during the middle of peak season, just because I was like, I need to do something motocross related. Put it on, but it was like super cold out in the garage, so I don't even. And like, mind you, I didn't put the plastics on until I got my suspension back from Factory Connection, which just showed up on Friday. So then I got the suspension. I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm motivated to finish the bike off. So now I've got the full orange muff kit with the stiffy style numbers.
It looked good.
I'm pretty pumped on that bike, dude.
I gotta get on that Muff Factory team.
Dude, Muff Factory team is very elite.
Well, here's the deal. I know every company's just fighting over each other to get to a guy that is 33 years old that doesn't race.
A professional practicer.
Pro practice.
Not even that. Like,
Hey, my Instagram game is strong, though. Dude.
Yeah.
They will get a tag, and I will filter that thing until it looks so good.
Dude, from what I know about mufflers, I would say that's you're like their key guy.
I'm their
The
demographic.
key market, yeah.
I'm their demographic. Because here's the
Absolutely.
deal. You may beat me on the track, but I will outdrink you. I will drink you under the table when the race is done.
We're talking about
All
alcohol,
day.
not sperm, Gabe.
Oh, I'm out. Never mind. You got me there. My bad.
Anyway, yeah, dude. So let's talk about mufflers.
Those guys, dude.
Okay. So
Oh, man.
So fill us in. Give us.
Have you ridden with your muffler?
I haven't ridden with it yet.
Have you started it?
I bet it
I
had to
haven't
have added
started it
6
yet
or 9
because
horsepower.
I just put the carbon fiber muff on the bike.
So you just put it. You basically just built your bike the other day.
Practically, yeah. I don't even have oil in it yet because I just realized.
Don't forget to put oil.
Why does Ronnie Mac not have a muffler? That of all the guys,
I think that Ronnie Mac is balls deep in FMF.
I don't know. I feel like if that thing's going to add 6 or 9 horsepower, he'd be all over it.
Or 6.9 horsepower.
Both. If we
Yeah.
had to.
So from racing those outdoor nationals this year that I did, I met a lot of people throughout, the industry, and then having the Trans World articles and shit. These fucking guys on Instagram contacted me and said, "Hey, we like what you do. We've got this brand image that we're trying to create. Will you help us, create?"
Man, did they really mess up with that?
Yeah. Picked the wrong guy.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Or did they?
So, to tell you the truth, I don't really know all the details. It's just these fucking guys that have sent me stickers and accessories and stuff, and they're building their merchandise brand. And like to me, like whenever I see it, it reminds me a lot of Butt Snorkeler and Barstool smoke shows. So like 90s.
You thoroughly enjoy those.
Dude,
so,
yes.
yeah.
Tits, ass, motocross, old bikes, all the sickest shit. So, yeah.
Basically, the Lake Havasu of Instagram.
Yeah.
From like
From 1996, yeah.
96 Havasu of Instagram. That is what it is.
Yes.
Perfect. Yeah.
I like that.
But
So this is all new. It's not somebody that's been around a long time that we've missed out on.
as far as I know,
It's new to you.
new to me, yeah. But from what I understand, these guys actually, their dad has a literal muffler shop in California that they have been in business since like '88 or so.
Just like one of those hole in the walls, putting on like Flowmasters on.
Precisely.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. So, and I think their kids started this as like a accessory income.
Are you going racing for them? Like, are you going to ride like a national this year? Like, are you going in the muff van?
The Muff main event.
Dude, I need a muff van.
A muff van. Yeah.
Muff van.
I think if
Like
you
the Mud and Cuts van, but call it the Muff and Cunts van.
Did you just come up with that?
yes. Yes, the answer is yes.
Oh my god, dude!
This is groundbreaking shit.
Is there any chance that they're going to listen to the show and take you from a factory level to a double factory, like
Yeah,
super factory level?
they're gonna double my salary.
Is there any chance I get on the team after coming up with the van?
Yeah, he just came out with a new slogan right there. Yeah.
Okay, so what was it instead of the what?
What was the one on Dumb and Dumber?
Muff
The
and
Mutton
Cuts. Or Mutt and Cut. Now I'm all fucked
Yeah,
up.
Mutt and
okay.
Cuts.
Then it'd be the Muff and Cunts van. Can we say that on the show, or did I cross the line?
No, you can say.
Yeah, you can say whatever you
anything.
want. I think I've already said a handful of things. I
Oh
probably
my god, dude,
good.
that is genius.
That's
It'd have to be that. You'd have to do like the lettering all cheap on the side, just like the old Mutton Cuts, though.
I'm gonna
You just paint it, hand paint it.
I'm gonna
Yes.
contact my guy and be like, hey,
Bro,
yeah,
Well, actually, you just do the sticker for the side of it.
I got you.
Chromatic.
We got a printer right here.
Hey, is that the name of your new company, Chromatic?
It's not.
Okay.
We actually we bought the URL this week. I don't know if I can talk about it. I don't know if I can say the name. I have to tell you later.
Oh, okay, that's
We haven't,
exciting.
I don't think I should yet. I'll wait till we're off the air to tell you.
Okay.
But once was it ProMotion? Is that what PMG?
Originally started as PMG. Dusty Emerson, of course. We went there. Had it was ProMotion Graphics. Did a lot of it. Was basically like your local sign shop, if you will. But
with a catalog.
Right. Then
PMG had a catalog.
Yeah, because then Dusty launched the clothing company, which was, of course, just PMG, which actually stood for Passion Motivated Generation at the time.
Fun.
And
That's a
so,
lot.
yeah. but PMG is obviously a lot shorter, a lot easier. And so, had the clothing company, traveled to the races, but as any of us know that have tried to launch a clothing company, it's not exactly the easiest thing to get off the ground. So
I'll never forget that, like, acid wash lime green, key lime green shirt with the orange logo on it.
I think when I think of PMG, that's what I think and see. But I also think of this same colored shirt with the Air Wheelies logo stuck on the front.
I have one. I've still got one.
I still have one as well. At least I did.
Do you still have? I bet both of you still have possibly the original Sharpie Air Wheelie shirts, the OG.
I never got one.
I don't know if I ever got one either. We were Kansas City guys. It was hard to get them up here back in the day.
I think
importing.
I think the green one is what the green one's
was the
one
initial one. You know what's funny is Dusty bought Air Wheelies from me for $50 in like my senior year of high school because I had the stickers. Like it was kind of mine, It's the time, young motocross kid. That was gonna be my comp. That was gonna be my thing. And Dusty wanted to do it on PMG, so he calls me one day. He's like, "Hey man, I'll give you $50 for the rights to Air Wheelies." I'm like a 17-year-old kid. I'm like, "Damn, $50." For
a drawing I made.
Like, dude, that pays for a whole month of practice at Sprout Patch.
Sold, bro. So I sell it to him, and then fast forward a few years later, and we get to laughing, and I'm like, man, I want to make some more stickers for the boys. And I was like, do I need to buy it back? Luckily, he didn't charge me, but I bet Dusty still has it somewhere. Maybe we even wrote up a contract, man. I signed it and everything. Sold him the rights to Air Wheelies for $50. So.
That's awesome.
That's so awesome, dude.
That was the most I ever made off Air Wheelies.
I did not. This is going to be terrible. I had PMG shirts. Mm-hmm. No clue that was Dusty Emerson.
Yeah.
Did you know? Were you in on the Air Wheelie stuff at all?
That was like right after I got hurt, but like I had an Air Wheelie sticker. I don't think I ever had a shirt, but I got an Air. I might have been from you.
Were you in on the Missouri State message board?
Dude, that's how I met Scott. Scott used to always be like, "Dude, Air Wheelie stickers, hook it up."
I'm 8 on the CR.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
think.
Why did you ever change your number from 8?
I don't.
When you come back after your shoulder, you should put a number 8.
Just number 8.
Will you please on one bike? Will you let me make you a number 8?
Just number 8, like
Yeah.
the big fat. Like who was that dude? Driscoll that used to
Drennan.
Drennan.
He still runs it.
Yeah.
He's still. So I'll probably
Green
I'll be in the
backgrounds.
plus class, so I'll have to probably
Dude,
battle him
yeah,
for the
8X.
sign up registration.
Hold up.
8X.
Let's dude, okay, I just came up with a really sick idea. What if for your next kit we do like an Intimidator kit?
A do it for Dale kit.
A do it for Dale
Praise Hail,
kit.
praise Dale.
Yep.
I'll order the plastic now.
But yeah, white and black plastic, and I'll alter the GM Good Wrench logo to Innovative MX, and we can
like that.
yeah we
I
can
like that.
relabel the whole bike to where it'll look like the Intimidator
How
kit.
am I going to ride it with a hard on?
How do you ride all the time?
Isn't that normal?
Yeah.
Shouldn't be noticeable when you only got 2 inches of meat hanging.
Hey, he doesn't know what it's like to ride with the hard on because he doesn't ride a 2-stroke.
I haven't rode a 2-stroke in a long time. But I did work on my bike the other day when you called me and we had a terrible FaceTime reception.
Yeah, because I was trying to fix a stupid 4-stroke throttle.
He lives in Nixon, so he has no cell service whatsoever down
They
there.
don't even have running water down
He might
there.
as well send a carrier pigeon or something.
No, I was almost out of minutes too, so it's going even slower.
So, anyways, I'm at the house and he's trying to work on whose bike? Cameron's bike.
Yeah, my buddy Cameron's bike.
Trying to work on Cameron's bike, and he doesn't know how to put the throttle back together because it has more than one throttle cable. A 2-stroke. It's
I was
all in
pulling
one.
the wrong way.
So to figure it out, he FaceTimes you of
Me.
all people.
Yeah,
Because he had
man.
a 4-stroke.
I can work the shit out of a Honda
But somehow
4-stroke.
Chad
I've only been riding them since
somehow Chad
04.
Wygant had used an entire 5-gallon bucket of grease on that throttle tube.
Yikes.
So, anyways, I don't know, but I worked on my bike for the first time in roughly 5 months.
How'd that
like
feel?
little tinkering, and it was
It's good.
Therapeutic?
Therapeutic, but almost like it felt good. It was
And
like,
I felt,
oh, this
that's
is
how
nice.
I felt putting those graphics on the other day.
And then I went inside and realized I can't ride, and I got all bummed out. Like when I shut the light off in the garage as I walked into the house, it's like,
Oh, so what you're telling me, you haven't even rev tuned your bikes.
I haven't. That's the first time I've touched my bikes since I got hurt. They've been sitting on the stand. I didn't even. Colin took one of mine to Ironman or wherever, Millville maybe, as like a backup bike, and cleaned it and brought it back. And then Chad Sainer took my other one and cleaned it and brought it back, and they've just been sitting in my garage. sitting in my garage. I haven't worked on them, haven't touched them, haven't done anything. Haven't even started them.
Go home and rev tune them.
Okay. Do you think do you think the battery's still good?
I bet it's dead.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's dead as well. I wouldn't know because I still kick mine because it's a 2-stroke and that's all I can do.
That's what men do. Men that ride dirt bikes, kick their bikes.
That's why Muff Mufflers isn't calling you, but me and Jeff are on the list.
That's right. I know. And that's something I was going to ask you about, Muff. They're 2-stroke only, aren't they?
I wouldn't be surprised if people are ordering sticker kits and putting it on their 4-strokes.
Just because.
Why not?
You know what? Can I who do I need to call to get some? Because I could get in.
Well, I actually was looking at their Instagram.
Do I just need to send them a message on Instagram?
Yeah, whenever I pulled
Slide in those DMs,
because they
Scott.
posted my bike. Dude, check this out. Check out the their
Tell
call.
us what we're checking out because the people listening clearly
Well,
can't.
I'm gonna fucking tell you. Jesus Christ! All right, so on the Muff
him over
Mufflers
the head with
Instagram, it's muff.mufflers. All right, tap that call button and look what pulls up.
Oh my God! Yes, do yourself a favor and hit the call button on their Instagram page.
1-800-420-6969.
Now,
What's funny though is there's 2 lines there. You may get Ronnie Mac too. They share an office.
There's probably a 1 and 2. Yeah,
Muff and Ronnie share an office. So
it just depends on which extension you call.
the 6 or the 9.
I wonder what happened. Let's find out.
yeah, call it. What do you mean? What happens? You get Muff Mufflers, bro.
You might get the White
Let's
House.
just find out.
Hello, and please listen carefully as our menu options may have changed. Calls are recorded for quality assurance. We're very excited to tell you about a special promotion for select callers. This will only take a moment. By answering just a few questions, we will find out if this offer is right for you.
Wow, Muff Mufflers coming through with a sponsorship.
Are you or someone in your household 60 years of age or older? Press 1 for yes.
Oh.
If you or
69 maybe.
60. I'm 69 years old. We don't have time for that. Wow.
They're asking about the age of 60 because like they like that 90s, 80s stuff, so they want to make sure there's somebody in the household that can appreciate the brand.
Okay, I'm with that, dude.
Yeah.
Nostalgia.
1-800-420-6969. Dial for Muff Mufflers. That's sick.
I think it's pretty impressive.
I'm so glad to have
I'm gonna go buy a 2-stroke
them.
just so I can do
won't.
this.
Dude, hey,
Whoa.
for real though, will you? Please.
Dare
If you find me a clean Honda 125, I'm
Why does it have
interested.
to be a Honda?
Because I don't want.
Why do you
I
want
don't
to
want it to
125?
mix match.
Yeah, why do you want a 125?
They're
Because
cool.
too many 2-strokes are scary as fuck, man.
Hey, okay, so I think we've talked about this on the show, but I'm going to go ahead and talk about it again because it might have been years ago. Scott came over and rode at Crutcherwood one day, and I was on the Tide RM250, the number 1 bike.
Yeah.
Scott was riding a Kawasaki 250F, and just as like a goof, we traded bikes. He went out and rode my bike for like 3 laps and stopped because he was like, how do you ride this? It's too fast. It's fucking scary.
Can't do it.
Is that the bike I bought?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. That same bike, I bought that bike. We go to the Hale Arena Cross, and I'm going to let my buddy ride it. He goes out, rides 1 lap of practice. He's never ridden a dirt bike since. He was like, it's scary. I can't ride it.
The RM250 has that effect on people.
It does.
That's also what you're riding.
Yeah, that's why I said it. Yeah. Old Smoky band.
Okay, so I rode. I think Jeff Hudgens used to have one a long time ago.
Yeah.
I rode at Grain Valley for like 3 laps, and that was it. And then there was some 2 brothers that were twins that used to ride out at the Arnolds. Do you know who I'm talking about?
I don't.
Anyways, I
Aaron
don't
and
know.
Adam Gully.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah.
No, wrong side of the state. Anyways, they had a CR252 stroke. Like this is like 01 maybe, and it was fully pro circuit built.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I rode it. I'm like 14, maybe 13, 14. I'm riding a CR125 as my bike. So I jumped on their bike and rode it and wadded my fucking brains out on my birthday, and I didn't even know what day it was.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I had not ridden a 252 stroke when I got mine. The last 252 stroke I rode was when Jimmy was riding for Yamaha, and he had one. I rode it at Worthington's house.
So like amateur days,
Amateur Jimmy,
2004,
like 2004, 5.
Yeah,
So
somewhere.
probably, I never owned a 252 stroke.
That's awesome.
And so, because whenever I bought this one, I was full full blown. I mean, all I ever rode was Yamaha. So when I bought this bike, I was dead set. I was finding a Yamaha. And Greg Albertson actually talked me out of it. He's like, dude, go get an RM. He's like, pull up the old bike tests from like 06, 07 and see what won, and then tell me what you're going to buy.
Yeah.
And I got lucky and found this RM250 and just mint condition. Still have the stock grips on it.
What year is it?
It's an 06.
What'd you pay for it?
$2,100.
Jesus Christ, dude. You got one of the greatest bikes ever built in mint condition for $2,100.
So here's what happened. I was going to get another one. I was on my way. This kid was going to take $2,100 for this other RM250 I found. And it was in decent shape. It was a little rough, but nothing bad. I was going to change a lot of stuff anyway. And didn't have a title or anything, which I don't care. It's a dirt bike.
Right.
But the day I'm going to get it, the kid's phone, he just disappears. I can't get a hold of him. I'm calling, I'm texting.
He ran out of minutes.
He must have run out of minutes. Same thing. I had plenty. It was 15th of the month. So
If only you could have shared your minutes with
right.
him.
So I'd got a refill with my ABT card. I was ready to go. And so I'm jumping down, like freaking out. And I'm like, man, this is such a pain in the ass. So I pull up my phone and I'm like, maybe I have the number wrong. So I get back on Craigslist where it was at, type in RM250, go looking for it. In the meantime, this one pops up. I'm like, no way, that thing's clean. It had the stock graphics. I mean, the old yellow and blue.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. So I dial the number, I put it in my phone, and it pops up the Harley Davidson dealership down there. And I'm like,
What the hell?
yeah, I'm like, that doesn't make much sense, but okay. So I call it, and they're like, yeah, that's Brian's bike. Well, Brian's like he's like the operations manager at this Harley dealership. I've known him a long time. He rides, of course. He's a super good dude. He gets on the phone. I'm like, is that you? I remember him buying that bike. He's like, yeah, it's mine. And I'm like, well, don't sell it. I was like, I'm on the other side of Springfield. I'll be there in like 15 minutes. He's like, all right, cool. Get there. And of course, he starts it. He's like, man, I haven't ridden it. It's just been sitting. So he starts it, kind of starts smoking or whatever. And I'm like, man, it's good. And he had $2,500 on it on Craigslist. And, I didn't really want to try to talk him down too much because he's my boy. I'm like, I don't want to go into that, but I said, listen, man, I have $2,100 in my pocket. I was on my way to buy another one. If you'll take it, let's do it. And he sat there, man. He kind of thought about it. He goes, man, I just listed it. And then finally he's like, you know what? I know you're going to actually ride it and appreciate it, make it cool. He's like, $2,100 it is. Signs over the title, dude. I loaded it up, took it home. I've bought so much dumb shit in my day, and that is not one of them. That thing.
Was Sid mad when you pulled into the
No,
driveway
she
with
knew
it?
I was going to get one because I had talked about it, man. I hadn't had the last bike I owned was an 03 Yamaha 250F.
God, I just have one story to go with that bike. I just have one.
I had ridden, I had borrowed bikes. I had gone, I'd have to borrow everything when I wanted to ride. But finally, my buddy Cameron had got a bike. Of course, Gardner had been riding a lot, and people had kind of been on me to get another. And I'm like, I'm doing it. I'm getting a bike. But in my head, I did not want to go buy a new four-stroke because, as all of you know, if you get a new four-stroke, for instance, what's your newest one, 18, 19?
18, yeah.
So you're 18. In 2 years, in 2020, you're going to be like, this thing is a piece of shit. I want the new one. When you have a 2006 RM250, it's always just going to be a piece of shit. And so there's no point in getting another
always
one.
a project at that point.
So there's no point in going and getting something new because there's not going to be a new 250 RM two-stroke. So you just hang on to it. And I can go to the track and park next to a guy with a brand new whatever, and he's going to go, damn, dude, can I ride that? Yeah, sure. Let me ride your bike.
Right.
So
It's a win-win.
It is such a win-win.
That's Chad and Dylan Sainer just bought, like last summer, they bought like an 05 CR 252 stroke.
Yeah.
That's like it came out of the Geico
Crate.
Honda shop.
Yeah.
Like it's all tricked out, badass. I mean, it was a full-on, like a project that they did. The guy didn't spare any expense on.
That's what I'm getting ready to do. I'm getting ready to tear mine down. I'm going to do I'm going to frame it and go do a bunch of fun stuff with it this winter.
Go.
Daytona Supercross this
Yeah.
year. They got rid of the quads and they're doing a vintage day.
Oh, thank God.
But the vintage day includes classes that go. They are. I forgot what the name of it is. Like Evolution 3 or something goes up to 2008.
I'm listening.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
You
Yeah.
could ride an 06 CR F450, which was like the best model of that year, I think. 08. 08 was the good year that everybody wanted.
The 8, yeah.
Anyway.
My
Crazy.
my Tide RM that I
Yes.
had,
Beautiful, beautiful specimen.
I went to Merwin at the time, didn't have a bike, went to Merwin with this dude, Matt Barger, who's a woods rider. He let me ride his KTM 200 XC. It had a headlight on it and no rear brake, but I rode it anyway.
Right.
And it was a lot of fun. While I was riding off of the track back to our pit area, there was a guy that had a brand new RM 250 loaded up on his trailer, and then he was riding a Yamaha 450. And I walked past him to go watch people ride, and I said, "Dude, that's a clean looking bike." He said, "Yeah, I'm kind of scared of it." I said, "You're not going to ride it today?" "No, I don't think so." I said, "Would you ever think about selling it?" "Well, maybe. I don't know. It's my son's bike, and he never shows up whenever I say let's go ride." And I kind of talked to the guy, and I put the bug in his ear of maybe, if you ever think about selling it, how about this? How about I take down your number, and you think about it for a little while, and I'll give you a call, and if you want to sell it, then we'll talk about that. "Okay, man, that sounds good." So I got his number from him. I went home. Stopped at went to my dad's house, and
yeah,
I'm like, "Yeah, this guy with this bike," and every once in a while I'll be telling Jerry C about something. He just gets this little twinkle in his eye about something. He said, "Well, did the guy say a price?" And I said, "No, huh?" So he's like, "Well, let me know, because I might be able to help you on it, because at the time I didn't have a bike at all." So I went home, and then I just started all I could think about was that fucking 05 RM 250, mint condition, perfect bike. I called the guy the next day. I'm like, "Hey man, I've been thinking about that bike. Have you thought about selling it?" And he's like, "Well, yeah, I have, and I said something to my son about it, and he didn't seem to care if I sold it or not. So, what do you think like a fair price for that bike is?" I'm like, "Well, it's old." I said, "Has it been started?" And he's like, "No, I haven't really rode it at all." I said, "So, what you telling me is crank seal's probably bad, so the lower bearings are probably bad." And I'm like, "I don't know, what kind of condition the bike is in." And obviously I knew exactly what kind of condition it was in, but I didn't tell the guy.
Just hustling.
And I'm just telling him, "Yeah, probably, I don't know, I think you can get away with $1,000 for it." And like, he's silent on the other end of the phone. And I thought he was going to feel insulted, but he's like, "Man, that's actually, I could use $1,000 right now." I'm like, "All right, man. Well, let me think about it a little further, and I'll give you another call." I call my dad. I'm like, "Dad, these guys going to sell this bike for $1,000. Yeah, I had the money, but I didn't. It was tied up in savings. And,
yeah. I had an equity fund.
Yeah. And he's like, "Well, I was planning on giving you $1,000 for a bike if you wanted to go get a bike. So let's go get that bike."
All right, Jerry C.
Okay. So I call the guy back, and I'm like, "You doing anything tonight?" "Yeah, we got stuff going on." And what about tomorrow? And Keith was actually, this is before Keith had left town, and Keith goes with us, and we all go over there, and we're inspecting it and shit. And I tell the guy, I'm like, "All right, man, well," and my dad gave me $1,000. On the way down there, we stopped at Taco Bell or something and it would have been breakfast, so it was probably McDonald's. I fucked up and spent some of the money that my dad gave me, not thanking. So I only had like $980. And so I'm thinking about that.
Where'd you get McDonald's for $20?
No, I didn't spend the 20. It's that I broke a 20.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm telling the guy, I'm like, "All right, man, here's your $1,000. I fucking gave him $980. He never counted it or nothing. Never have seen that guy again. He was a cop and gardener. That's all I remember. We started the bike, dude, jetted perfectly. Bike's in mint condition. You guys know who Keith Lewandowski is?
I remember that name.
Rider.
I don't know that name.
Nope.
So Keith bought the bike from Donnell's, in like the original owner, sold it, but Keith was like super like high maintenance guy when it came to his bikes, and like he filled the shift tip with epoxy, like so it wouldn't get mud in it. The guy was very intricate about his bike.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah.
I'm actually listening.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
You got my attention.
that was where the bike was at. And like we took it home, cracked the top end open, mint condition. The rear fender was kind of scraped up because a buddy of mine that doesn't really ride a whole lot looped it out at Merwin like a couple months before we bought it, and it had just never been replaced. And so I rode the fuck out of that bike we rode it the next day. Keith brought his Honda 250F over. My brother-in-law rode with us. I've got a photo of the three of us out there. And then I went to bar the next weekend. Mind you, it's like February. And bar to bar had a race, and I went down there, and I seized the bike up in practice. The lower bearing did let go. It was bad because the bike had sat around for so long. It didn't have oil. So the seals were bad. But I bought the fucking bike for $980, but whenever I blew the bike up down there, it wasn't terrible, but it did some damage. So I had to put a new crank, rod, piston, that whole deal. Which, I mean, dude, you buy the hot rods kit, it's $400. So I put a Weisco kit in it, and then, or actually, no, I'm sorry, it was a stock. That was a stock crank that I put in it, but I put a hot rod on it because I just bought the crank without the rod on it because extra cheap that way.
Yeah, you stole that thing though for $980.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah. So,
And Taco Bell or McDonald's.
yeah.
Yeah,
So I
it's
raced
the 980.
dude, I raced that bike for 2 years and then blew it up. And when I blew it up, it was a big blow up, big time. The crank wobbled somehow. Something was wrong with that crank, and it rotated a little bit side to side. And whenever it did, it twisted the rod in half. The rod went up through the cylinder, flipped down, and went down through the cases.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hell
so
yeah.
not Chad Wagon.
You really let that thing have it.
Yeah. Area 51 Chad.
Newman.
Chad Newman welded the cases on it. And I took it to Donnell's, and Larry was like, dude, you're just going to have to buy new cases. I'm like, fuck, dude. And cases for those bikes are expensive because they're
everything
rare.
on those there's stock.
Yeah. So then
Reminds me of another story I'll tell you after this one about stock parts. You'll like this one.
I took it to Chad, and he's like, "Oh hell yeah, I can weld and fabricate that thing." So he did, and then I rode it a couple more times, and then sold it to Mike. Mike, you sold it to Joe.
Yeah, so Joe's the one that rode it.
Yeah.
Then I've never been to the dunes, but everybody planned this dunes trip, and he didn't have a bike, so he bought it for me to take to the dunes, and then he never went to the dunes, and the bike has never been ridden since.
Does he still have it?
Yeah.
No shit.
Would he take
Yeah.
$1,000 for it?
Would it take $980 for it?
And not a penny more.
It's
Yeah.
literally been sitting in his garage.
What about $980 and some Taco Bell?
You know, it's got Marshall's suspension in it. That bike is ready to race, dude.
And it also, you had freshly spray painted the wheels black.
Yep.
So it's
Got
got,
the Dylan Cooper trick.
yeah, so it's definitely got black rims, tires,
That's what's next
spokes.
on mine is rims.
Dude,
You
I
gotta get
wonder
wheels.
if he would sell that bike back to me.
Probably.
Hey, did you
I think
ride?
it's worth a phone call.
Didn't you used to ride it? You had a KTM 200, right?
Yeah.
When you were like 14,
Yep.
15, whatever.
When you and Jimmy were both riding KTM?
So
Yeah,
let me
was that the? Did you ride that in like the 250 class?
I
Or
did.
Was that, okay.
450, actually. By that time, it had become the 450 class.
Well, whatever. Yeah, I
Yeah,
just
Jimmy had that KTM 250 when you guys both rode for him. That thing was so violently fast, but would not turn.
That was the first bike. That was the first 252 stroke to break the 50 horsepower mark.
That thing was so violently fast.
Yeah.
But it was like riding a rhinoceros, though. It would get there, and then you couldn't get it to turn.
couldn't get to stop or
Yeah.
turn.
So that KTM 200 SX, let me tell you something about that bike. I'm not going to tell you who because I don't want to shame them, but we sold it to somebody. They rode it for a little bit and then put it in a storage unit with a 1995 CR250, a 1996 CR125, 3 mint condition RM80s that had been freshly rebuilt, and then the guy stopped paying for the rent on the storage unit, and all the bikes went to auction and got sold off
Wow.
for like
nothing.
like a storage unit auction.
Yeah.
Right.
Storage
Yeah.
Wars.
Yeah.
So-
$300 for the whole thing. You don't know what's in there.
That's $10,000 worth of dirt bikes sitting in there.
That's almost one brand new 450.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah, there's
Close.
I have more than that sitting in my garage right now. By the way, if anyone wants to buy a 2017 Honda 450, give me a call.
They don't. The new ones are coming out, and you guys keep chasing this 4-stroke technology. If you guys would just get 2 strokes, you'd be content for a little while.
You know what? Find me a clean CR125 03 or newer, and I'll be interested. So that's 03 to 07.
How far are you willing to travel for it?
Yeah, I'm listening.
I'd prefer Midwest. I don't really want to go to California. I don't want to go to Florida.
I can tell you
Midwest.
that Brent Rouse's brother Dane, dude, he buys a new bike like every week for a couple $100. He finds these fucking worn out dune bikes that that are like 95 CR125s. They only buy used Hondas, dude. His goal is to have 100 dirt bikes. And every single one of them, dude, he buys them.
I wish everyone could see the look on our face right now. Yeah. Jeff just said that.
Dude, they buy them, fix them up, sell them. Okay? So, like, he'll buy a 95 CR125, fix it up, sell it for like $4,000 because people will pay
the hard part is people want so much for their used 2-strokes now.
Yep.
Well, that one of the Screaming Eagles Greg got for Ronnie, was so cheap, dude. Same thing. Oklahoma, man. This guy used to come out to OMC. Have you heard this? Did Greg tell you this story?
I think he's told me about some of the bikes.
Dude, this one was my favorite. This guy ends up like trading out some work or something, ends up with a Screaming Eagle, comes out to the track, is riding it, and Greg's like, we need that bike. Like, Ronnie needs that.
Have to have that bike.
So he goes to the guy, and the guy's like, I just got it, traded some work for it. And Greg's like, oh, yeah, because it was clean. Like, it was good for what. And Greg's like, wow, man, a 98 CR. He's like, bold move, man. That's the bike that took McGrath down. Like, starts saying this stuff. And the guy's like, are you serious, man? Greg's like, yeah, he's like, McGrath was never the same after that. He went on to win like 3 or 4 titles on Yamahas, but whatever.
Never mind.
So Greg's like hyping it up that bike was a turd and all this stuff. And the guy's like, what do you think it's worth? And Greg's like, man, I don't know. I'd give you like $500 for it. And the dude's like, man, sold. Just on the spot.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
So Greg got one of the Eagles for Ronnie, dude, for just cheap as dirt from some guy because that was the bike that took McGrath down.
Didn't the bike that Greg, like the bike he bought for Ronnie to ride in Australia, didn't they pay like $3,000 for that thing?
Oh, I can't remember. The promoter of that race ended up buying it.
I was wondering how that worked out.
Yeah.
Either way, somebody paid thousands and thousands of dollars for that bike for Ronnie to ride it in Australia.
The old Eagle, man.
Because it was cheaper for them to buy it and build it there than for them to crate and ship it.
I don't doubt that.
I think they said the suspension was the only thing.
Yeah.
The best, dude, the one at Straight Rhythm last year was so stupid fast.
Really?
That bike put out more horsepower than the KTM 250Fs that week. They had it on the dyno.
Who did the motor on it?
Merge. I'm pretty sure Greg and Merge put it
that's
together.
So awesome.
Dude, it was silly.
Nothing like sinking a bunch of time into a 98 CR2.
Greg had cut the air boxes open to get more air in it, and the thing was just, it was a ticking time bomb. But it was so fast.
I do not want to see. I don't need one. If you find a 125, that's what I'm interested in.
It was so stinking fast, and it blew up after the race. Ronnie was doing a big old burnout, pouring beer in the silencer, and it popped. But I'm surprised it even lasted that long. That thing was gnarly.
Ronnie didn't end up onto his head. That's too old. That's like an 01. Look at the frame on it. I want the newer generation frame.
Oh,
yeah. So picky.
I know.
So, but you did this on purpose. Like, that those don't even exist anymore. And that's why.
It's the last one I had was an 02 when I was like 14. I had an 02 CR.
My buddy had a 06 or 07 250, man. It was clean. He just sold it. Now he's really kicking himself in the ass. I'm like, told you not to.
Because, see, I want a Honda because it matches everything in my garage.
Yeah.
That's what I rode when I moved to big bikes. That's my brand.
You're 8 on the CR.
I'm 8 on the CR, so that's what I need. And I say the last 2-stroke I had was an 05 KX125 I bought from some dude in Ottawa.
And that thing was pretty cool.
It was cool. I spent a bunch of time on it.
Why is your Instagram name not I'm 8 on the CR?
It should be.
It should. I don't know.
Your personal one, you should go back to that.
That.
Just saying.
You're talking about shipping that bike to Australia. Did you guys hear that Pastrana got all his bikes stolen?
Yeah, all the Nitro Circus
all
bikes.
The Nitro Circus guys.
Nitro Circus.
Jones, all those guys, dude.
That
they're
would
all gone.
suck.
It's somebody in the shipyard.
That's
what
it was. Somebody I read said something about it being an inside deal. Like somebody in the shipping yard was like, "Hey, there's all these dirt bikes." So
I mean, don't get me wrong, this doesn't make it any better, but Pastrana had all that Kevlar, like plastic or whatever, the Kevlar fenders and all that. Did you see that stuff?
Yeah,
No.
I did. I think he put it on his Insta, didn't he?
Yeah,
I don't know anything about it.
Okay, so he had
did see
Kevlar. He had the lightest RM250 or something with prototype Kevlar fenders, airbox, everything. It looked horrible. But
Surprise.
Yeah, but what I was going to say was he can get new bikes and stuff like that. But the bummer part was it McNeil that had won several golds on his
yeah,
at
that was
X
his-
Games, and
that
he was
was
going to keep the bike for life.
That was his gold medal bike.
Yeah, because like he was so proud of it, but he was still riding at Nitro Circus, and it got stolen. Like that would suck. Like it'd suck anyway, but that would really suck.
Yeah.
Is there any bikes, which I don't really have any, are there any bikes you guys wish you still had just to have in the garage, just to say it was yours?
I absolutely wish I had my 95 KTM 50 SX.
I say I wish I had my PW50 just
I'd
because.
still like to have either I think first bike would be the one everybody'd want to have. Either one of my first YZ80s or my first bike was a Suzuki DS80 with the taillight.
Headlight and the taillight.
I'd still like to have that.
I'd also like to have an original KX60, not the 65,
Ooh,
but
yeah,
the
the
60.
Purple tank.
You can still find those.
Well, mine didn't have the purple tank on it. Mine was
Jimmy's
actually
didn't have a purple tank either.
no. And see, what's funny is mine was actually a 92. I think mine was a 92 or a 93 that Donnie Simpson bought for Trent's sister.
Oh,
And she rode it a couple times and decided that she didn't like dirt bikes. And so Donnie had it for a couple years because his sister's a couple years older than
Yeah.
us. And so my dad bought it from Donnie. So that's where my KX60 came from. But I would want to find seat graphics for it and a purple seat with the Kevlar on it and the
Yep.
KX on the side. And I would totally go back and if I couldn't find graphics for it, I would make them, but I would like to have one of those.
Customer service sucks. You may not get them.
yeah.
I
might
know.
not be able to get them. Now I'm looking for two strokes on Craigslist right now while we're sitting here.
Yeah, those old 60s. Would you get your chest protector with the alien on the back to hang off of it? Or you didn't have an alien? What?
No, that wasn't me.
Did you have a character on yours too?
On my chest protector?
Yeah. Did you have a stuffed animal deal on yours too? I feel like
re-
everybody did.
I don't remember that. All that I remember having was a fin, like the flag fin.
I remember my dad was, I don't know if he was mad or embarrassed of me, but when I saw McGrath with the fin, I wanted one so bad. I took a styrofoam plate from the kitchen. I made a fin and duct taped it on the back of my helmet for the Missouri State race at Possum Hollow when I was riding a 60. And my dad was like, "You're not going out there with that." And I was like, "Dad, McGrath had a fin. Why can't I have one?" And like to me, I was like, that styrofoam fin is exactly the same thing that McGrath has.
Yeah. I've still got my original. I had that Hot Wheels shoey helmet. I've still got it sitting in my house with the light up fin on the back.
Ooh, the
That's
blinky one.
awesome.
Yeah,
Dude,
yes.
I wish I still had like my first helmet, but it probably got
I've
all
got my
wore out and gross.
I've got all my old ones, dude. I've got my first one. Then I've got, which I never really went through helmets like a lot of people did. Then I had a Fox helmet when they first came out that I took. It was the blue and white and black
Yeah.
one. And I pinstriped it in red because Zach Osborne had that back when he wore Fox. And I did the same thing. So I remember going to O'Reilly's and pinstriping this helmet to look like Osborne.
I was never that cool, man. Like I said, I wore a T-shirt when I rode sometimes. Like,
Electrical tape. I used to electrical tape like stripes and stuff on my graphics, so I had like custom graphics.
Yeah. I did
And
that.
then my dad was like, "You are not wearing LBZs." When LBZs came out, I was like, "Dude, those are sick." And my dad was like, "You are not wearing
See, I was
LBZs."
the opposite. I thought I didn't like them.
Yeah?
And my dad did. He's
Okay.
like, "That's a hell of an idea. It won't get your boots dirty."
I went shopping with my mom. I went shopping with
That's
my
a
mom.
dad
We
thing.
got jeans that were too big, and I wore them over my boots at Sprout Patch.
I did the same thing. I had Jinkos.
Yes,
I had
yes.
I had black Jinko. Me and Jimmy and Greg
That's
all
sick.
had taxi driver Jinkos. They were black with a white and black checker down the side, and you could wear them over your boots and look like
Yes.
freestyle gear.
Exactly.
Dude, I
So-
did so many big no footers with those, or at least one
Yeah.
footers. I was Mike Jones.
Speaking of LBZ, I have been in contact recently on a personal level with the founder of Stiffy.
What's up?
Yeah, I'm gonna, as Rip and Ruts, I'm gonna help Stiffy relaunch their graphics brand.
Did Stiffy make helmets and stuff too, or was
just,
it just
jerseys and pants?
just jerseys?
But their pants were all like LBZ style. Like they didn't
Somewhere.
have
No. Somewhere. They had over the boot and they had in the
Didn't
boot.
Brandon Jessamine ride for them?
Brandon Jessamine, Michael Brandis, Jerry Dostal, Tyler Evans. Dude. I mean, it's Mark
that's
Easley,
right.
Larry Ward ran their numbers. The factory, No Lean Sizzler Yamaha ran their numbers. That's who did their graphics. So originally, Stiffy was a graphics company that kind of went the same way as One Industries that got into gear later.
Okay.
Yeah.
and like One Industries failed.
Ouch.
Well,
There it is.
yeah. So actually, I've arranged with Brian, the founder of Stiffy. He's gonna call in to Over the Bar sometime next year, which is in 2 days. But
But it sounds so far away
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
Now I always get Stiffy confused with Stiffy was not the one that had the graphics with the chick.
Skin. That was
That
Skin
was
Skin.
Industries.
That's what
Skin
I had
Industries.
Skin.
on my CR80. Before
Okay.
they were even 85s. My
Skin.
01 CR80 that I bought from Trey Hacker had the Skin Industries with the
Yeah.
chick and the tongue on
Yeah.
it.
Which I've been thinking about doing a Skin Industries
Remake.
kit. Yeah.
For your bike?
Not for my bike, but like offer
He's
it.
on the Muff program.
Yeah, I'm Factory Muff. They're paying for my graphics. So
I could only imagine the graphics kit you come up with muff.
well, I mean, you saw it, that
On their-
lime
it's on their
green
Insta,
and
Muffed
shit.
Up Mufflers.
Yeah. So Lichty Suspension, the local race tech people here in Kansas City, that guy's son, Luke, still rides, and Luke hit me up. He's like, dude, I want a full 90s kit. So I'm going to try to sell him on the idea of a Skin Yamaha.
Nice.
Yeah, dude,
like
the girl's face and everything on it.
Wonder what happened to
control.
Skin? Just disappeared.
Just another 90s brand that,
Yeah. It became something else, probably.
So anyway, yeah, the Stiffy guy's going to come on to OTB. We're going to get him. Brad Gebhardt, you know who he is? Big MX Radio.
I don't think so. I don't think I know what you're talking about.
No Scott Gebkin.
Yeah.
You don't know who
No
Brad
relation.
Gebhardt is? He's a Canadian guy.
Oh, yeah. I know
Big
who you're talking
MX
about now.
Radio.
Yeah,
Come on, dog.
Yeah,
Okay,
we're on the same page.
Okay, so Brad's going to come on to OTB also. We got him lined up.
The guy I saw at the Mexican restaurant the other night.
Jesse George, Hollywood.
Hollywood. Jesse. Hollywood.
So we got Hollywood lined up.
I
We've
ran into
got
him at the Garth Brooks concert when I came up here.
That's awesome.
I like that guy.
How did he look? I'm sure he was 100 at that.
Jesse?
Yeah.
Jesse looked good.
That's what
Jesse
I'm
always
saying.
looked
Jesse
good.
always
Yeah.
looks good.
Jesse always looks good. I saw we were commenting back and forth via his social media about
On the,
RM250s.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
thinking about that as we were
Yeah.
talking about
Of course, fucking Brian Shrout had to chime in with a Honda photo. Did you guys not see? Did you see
I
that?
didn't look
noticed
at it
it.
that far.
I
I'm like,
noticed
dude,
it.
why? This is obviously Suzuki's. Post a Suzuki photo. He had Suzuki's.
This is a yellow party.
Yeah.
Brian had, do you remember the Suzuki Brian had that had,
The handguards.
well, maybe, but it had like a red rear fender, white front fender, like
Yeah.
a green, like
had
every
green handguards,
every
right?
every piece of plastic was a different color.
No, that
I
that
remember
was
that thing. I
That
think.
was the 97 era.
Yes.
Bike. Yep. With the conventional forks.
Yes,
Yeah, I do remember that.
but it wasn't like a red, like a Honda red. It was like a dark
red,
blood
yep.
red.
I don't know where you got that
Kinda
kit
like
from.
that.
I have no
Blue.
idea, but he had every single
Wait a
piece was
second,
different.
didn't Jonathan Tuning have a similar kit also?
Well, Jonathan worked there at
know.
Shrouds, so
Yeah.
yeah, I think so.
Speaking of that, is Bart building a Bart bike?
I don't know what Bart's building. I couldn't tell from the picture. And maybe it was my phone, but his picture was kind of blurry when you try to zoom in at all. Like I couldn't.
It's-
I
Was it
can't
the
figure
one
out.
that he posted with just the frame and the forks?
Yeah,
Yeah.
originally I thought it was a newer style, but it had the
got the old
conventional
forks.
forks
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah.
So I didn't know.
So yeah, he's building a Bart bike.
So it's going to be like a mid to early 90s Suzuki thing?
If it's going to be a true Bart bike, he's got to put the purple rims on
That's
it.
I commented purple rims, please.
Yes.
What happened to the one that Talon was riding? That RM250. That thing
Dude,
was
I tried
sick.
hard to get the wheels out that.
I wanted the whole bike at the time. I had my Suzuki 450, and I wanted.
Gully
that
has one he's trying to sell right now, and I've begged him for the wheels. I'm like, dude, I will give you my stock ones in cash. Just tell me how much. And
Won't do it.
he's like, I'm trying to keep it together right now. About once a week, I'm like, still trying to keep it together because I want those wheels.
What does he have talents on it or what?
They're I don't even. He had someone build them. They're gold, different hubs, you name it. Because Lassiter was selling his. Brock wanted me to buy his, but I didn't want them. They had the stock hubs on them. If I'm going to do wheels, I want it all done.
Can you not just buy hubs and wheels for an 06 RM250
Not
anymore?
the gold. That's the problem. The gold wheels are so hard to find. I can get online right now and buy black wheels kitted full for that RM250 all day.
No, but what you could do is you could buy new stock silver rims and have them anodized gold, which honestly probably cost you $60.
I mean, I could just take my wheels and do that if that's the case.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like you're in a hurry to ride it.
Right. But if I'm going to do it, I want to go out. I want like badass hubs and spokes.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm not going to go fast, I at least want to look cool.
That's the world I
Okay,
live in
now
now.
hold on. Here's what you could do. You could take it all apart. Buy new spokes. So you got new shiny ones. Have the rims polished and anodized, and then have the hubs. You could send them to Jared Curry Custom Coatings, or K3 Restorations. Both of them are out of Iowa, and have them bead blast, and then Cerakote it to where it's like dark, like that dark gunmetal color. That looks sick.
Yeah, see, I'd want to do something like that. Mike just made it look
Boom
fast,
RC,
go
look
fast.
fast, go fast.
That's all that
If you
matters.
can't go fast, you got to look fast.
And that's the story of my life.
100%.
Yeah.
No question. And that's all I've ever known. But I would love to do a set of wheels. So my goal with that RM250 this winter is to take it to the frame. I'm going to powder coat the frame and triple clamps black. And then I want to do wheels. And then that's pretty well it. I mean, my graphics are set, so.
So the dude that is the parts manager at Escondido Cycle Center sent me a DM and asked me if I could do a replica kit for him, because I guess InStyle has totally fucking squirreled out on them to where they're like, yeah, we don't even have the files for those bikes anymore.
Is InStyle still a company?
InStyle changed hands. It's a totally new ownership. It's not the same people as who originally ran InStyle. They kind of ran it into the ground, or just didn't keep up on it. So
Right. It's because it's pre-made kits just don't do like they used to. I mean, I remember pre-made kits all day.
that's the only
That
thing you
used to
could
be,
buy.
yeah, it used to be all you could get.
And then Decal came along and fucked it all up for everybody. Hey, I was thinking about this on the way over here. Here's a question I want to ask you guys, because I was listening to a Rogan episode and they were talking about being like house arrest. Him and Joey Diaz were talking about being in jail. And I got to thinking about this. If you had to be, let's say you were arrested for whatever crime, and your sentence was 1 year house arrest, okay? But you got to pick where it was at. What track or facility or complex would you not want to leave the property of for a year?
I would hop straight in my DeLorean and go back to Cooperland.
Cooperland's a really good choice,
Yeah.
but
There's not a doubt in my mind.
Three Palms probably.
You choose
Oh,
Three
yeah,
Palms.
because you got the wakeboard park there.
But I haven't been really
I'm going
that
to get
many
in trouble with
places.
Scott, so I go with him.
Yeah, probably Three Palms. From now that I'm brainstorming, I don't know. Probably Three Palms, because there's other shit. They've got a BMX track, they've got dirt bike tracks, they've got the water park, all that. Yeah, probably Three Palms.
Yeah, now that he puts it that way. But then there's still that part of me. It's like, I miss Cooperland, so I'm going to stick with my original answer just for the sentimental value
There's
of
probably
it.
still a freestyle ramp hidden in the woods somewhere.
It's a Gravity Games ramp. You be careful on that thing.
Excuse me.
Do tour.
No, they really were. They were Kenny's Gravity Games ramps,
That's
remember?
awesome.
They had the
Yeah.
full-on stencil on 'em. There's still a video somewhere that
Mike.
we made. It has the Going the Distance song on it. God, what's that kid's
Yes.
name?
Cake.
Yeah.
What's that? Why am I drawing a blank on his name? I remember his screen name. You know him. Andrew something. It's Squeaky 192.
Squeaky 192.
Was it?
Andrew Erickson.
Yes. He made a video of me and BQ riding out there hitting those Gravity Games ramps one time.
Sick.
Jumping 6 feet.
Yeah, and I was only hitting the super kicker, dude. It was set up at 40. Brett was hitting the 80-footer. I was like, I ain't touching it.
No.
Mike.
2005 HLR Motorsports Park. Because I legitimately wanted to move to Moberly. I love that track so much when it had sawdust on it. Is that weird? Of all the tracks.
That track was fun.
I wish the listeners could see the look on my face, but
For
I mean,
1
yeah.
year, for 1 year though, you can't leave the property.
Why would you ever need to? You got Steve.
True.
You got Steve. You got a Supercross, like my level Supercross track.
Yeah.
You've got
At the time, the main track was
the
super
main
sick.
track
You
was
know, I could go back and
amazing.
almost throw Gator back in the mix on this. Supercross and all that.
Anadarko would be another one. I really like that place. Or what was the track that they had the Santa race every year? The sand track?
Sterling.
Yeah, Sterling.
Oh, yeah.
And they had like the mini dunes that you could go out and ride.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be a cool place too.
So, Three Palms was the first one that came up into my mind. I can't think of another place that's more all-inclusive than Three Palms, but I don't know if they have trails there. Like, actually, I guess if with a year...
Yeah, you're
you'd be
going to
able
make trails.
yeah,
I mean,
make
there's
trails.
space for them.
I mean, I
I guess
wouldn't
you
think
could
about
pick
it, but-
Millville, Spring Creek.
Yeah, but then you'd have to do winter there.
Yeah.
Then you just buy a snowmobile, I guess.
True. Pretty fun. You call Larry, have him come down from Canada.
Yeah.
Bring the old Yamaha,
The Enticer.
the Enticer mobile.
Then he would entice you to break your...
I've got a video of me
Tailbone.
riding this. I've got a video of me riding the snowmobile.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It runs.
Is Larry's snowmobile anything like Ronnie's CR250?
So
Like-
Ronnie's CR250 looks like hell, but runs like a badass.
Right.
Oh, this sounds so good.
Larry's snowmobile is just a piece of shit.
Okay. So I didn't know under like
Under the shell?
Yes, like the innards of that thing.
No. I got in trouble for doing skids on it because they were afraid I was going to knock the track off. It's not that impressive in person.
Okay.
One of the wheels fell off in the pit bike race. I think it's on one of BQ's vlogs. Larry was racing all the kids in the pit bike race and comes around the corner and the wheel just keeps going off the front of it.
Yes.
Now,
pretty good.
I'm going to do a weird flex. Did you know that I gave Brett Q his nickname?
BQ?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I was the first one that called him BQ, and he's like, why have I never thought of that before? This was on AIM. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Before and then he changed his AIM name to BQ365MX.
Yeah.
And now look at it.
And look at it now.
Look at the AIM day. That's when me and you were real hard on air wheelies. Remember we had Jacob Saylor running them in Supercross one year?
Yes.
French tickler, dude. The French tickler.
Oh my God. I forgot about that. God, I used to be the biggest Jacob Saylor fanboy.
Dude, we
Of
used to
all
send
the
him
people,
We
why?
used to send him air wheelie stickers. I remember going to Supercross one year when I thought air wheelies was going to be like Fox and like begging dudes to put it like on their bikes. And they're like, I was a kid, dude. I didn't know any difference. I was probably 14. They're like, yeah,
Can't do
thanks
that.
for the sticker. And
There's probably some dude out there, like, I bet, like Ricky Carmichael or Jeremy McGrath has an air wheelie sticker stuffed away somewhere on
Or
a
like
toolbox.
On the inside of his personal toolbox.
there was one.
Better.
I know that year I went there, I put one on the back of Mitch Payton's mule to go back and forth to the gate. And I thought I graffitied a
Well,
whole
you guys
bridge.
done it.
That reminds me, one time, me, Greg, and Jimmy, you may have been with us, I can't remember,
There's no telling.
but we were at Millville and we snuck into the pro pits, and the only way to get in was to walk from the track and go where the 50cc track is
Through
at
the
now.
creek?
You had to go up to the
And
woods.
go through the creek, right?
Yeah.
But I was hot. And so we were walking through and I just like dove in and they were so pissed. No, don't get wet. Don't get wet. You're going to make it obvious that we snuck through. They were so fucking pissed at me. Dude, we walked 3 steps into the pit and some guy's like, you guys just came through the creek, didn't you? You need to get the fuck out of here. I was like, damn it. They were so mad at me over that.
I don't know if I was there that year. I know I've been with you guys before. I remember going up there. Definitely, but
Should I bring up the beer garden incident
which one?
where they peed into a beer cup and then
That wasn't us. That was Zach.
Zach?
What was his last name? God dang it. His parents owned Grain Valley before your dad got it, didn't they?
No.
You're thinking
Zach
Zach
Evans.
Yeah.
They didn't own Green Valley.
I thought they did at one point.
Merwin.
That's right. That was Zach Evans that peed in that bottle, dude.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was Zach.
Oh, I thought that Jimmy and Greg both peed into a cup and then put it on where the beer garden stuff was at.
I'm pretty sure it was Zach Evans that did that.
Even better.
Yeah, so now you can bring it up. Jimmy and Greg are off the hook on that
Yeah.
one. I'm pretty sure that was Zach.
Blame Zach.
My favorite Jimmy and Greg do this. It reminds me of, and I'm going to date it here because, and I think I even mentioned this on one of BQ's vlogs one time. We were with Jimmy. I was at their house one time, and they got, if you grew up with Jimmy and Greg, you saw some hellacious fights between those two. They got in one day at their house that was monumental. At one point, Jimmy had taken like this pole out of like this tent was trying to hit Greg. Greg finally like gets him on the ground, throws him in the shower, and turns it on. Tells him to cool off. Finally, Jean gets it broke up, and she's so mad at us, and not really me, but I was involved because I was there,
Right?
And so
guilty by association.
yeah. And she tells him, she's like, you know what? If you guys can't get along, I'm going to tell your dad, and you're not going to get to go to Millville. You need to start getting along. You know, she kind of gave him an ultimatum. Jimmy just starts crying, and she's like, "What?" He's like, "We're not going to get to go to Millville. I hate Greg." He's like, "We'll never get along. I hate him." Like, and then I could just see the look in Jean's eyes, like trying not to laugh. She's like, "We have to get along." That's probably one of my favorite one of their fights that I got to witness in all of our years.
Jimmy was kind of a crier. He was quick to cry. And Jimmy always did this thing where, like, if he ate shit out on the track, number one, not only was his race over, but he would curl up into a ball. Jimmy,
I don't remember that.
Oh, really? Dude,
that's really funny, though.
On 60s and whenever we first started riding 80s, Jimmy would have some pretty gnarly get-offs. And he slammed the ground and just curl up into a little ball in the middle of the track.
Fetal position now.
Yeah.
I didn't go fast enough to hit the ground that hard.
I remember, I think it was the first time Jimmy beat Greg. He came back, and Greg's crying because he's so pissed Jimmy beat him. Then Jimmy starts crying because Greg's crying. The whole pit was just a shit show, man. They were all upset. I was back. Sprout Patch
Brian
days.
has some cool bikes now.
Who?
Brian.
Which
Albertson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, he does.
He's got some really cool
Those
bikes.
RDs are sick. He puts some time in them, too.
Yeah.
They obviously, growing up, where his parents live, or where Brian and Jean live, is right next to my mom's house. Like, I can practically throw a rock there now. And so I'll swing over there sometimes and see him. And, man, Brian, those RDs, he's done them right. They're cool. They're fun to ride, too, man. That's basically a Banshee motor on an old two-wheel, just an old motorcycle. Those things rip,
Everybody
man.
needs one of those.
They're fun.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
They really are. They're cool. But, yeah, Brian does some cool stuff over there. He's got some cool bikes. And Brian's just Brian, man. I love that guy. He's fun.
Is he retired?
Yeah, I mean, not really. He does exotic car search, which is pretty cool. He's like an exotic car broker, yeah. So, cool concept, though. A lot of guys call him and finds homes for cars that we can't afford.
Well, I knew that he was doing that back in the day before.
Mm-hmm.
That was like when Jimmy turned pro.
Yeah, well, he went to work at Lamborghini of Dallas for a while. He did work in an exotic car dealership because they moved down there for just a short stint. But then, yeah, he just kind of came up with this company and does his own thing now, so works out well for him.
Nice.
You should reopen Sprout Patch.
Dude, so
What's there now?
So a couple buddies of mine run cows on it, man. It's just an old field now. That's all it is. And another good friend of mine back home, Kyle McCoy, Kyle's got a little track at his house for his boys, Jacob and Gavin, which they're both going pretty fast on 50s. And, man, Kyle has tried everything. With my real estate license, I put in an offer actually not too long ago for Kyle. We tried to buy the old Branson property in Galena. We tried everything, man. I ended up pissing off the other agent so bad because we lowballed it so hard and tried. But he's tried to get Sprout Patch, but the old people they still own it. They're still alive. Jim and Gail. They won't budge.
They don't want a dirt bike
They
track
were
anymore.
100 years old when I was on a 50.
They still are, as you can imagine. But yeah, they've tried. And like I say, a couple of our friends back home, they have cattle on it, and they won't sell. They won't even sell it to them to run cattle on it. They'll lease it to them, but they won't sell it to them.
Did they like tear out the track, or is like the jump still there? Like grass.
Some of the hills are still. Well, even after it stopped being a motocross track, it was a go-kart track for a while. I don't know if you knew that.
No.
It was a flat.
Jumped go-karts?
It was a flat track go-kart track. So they built basically like a banked speedway in the middle.
Where the lights were?
Yeah. So there's like a banked speedway they built for a while.
Wow.
But the scoring tower and the starting gate are still there, and there's still a couple little hills, but nothing like
The concrete start.
that with the forward falling gate.
Yes.
Was that a concrete? I guess I don't
Concrete
remember
with
it
the
being
forward falling
concrete.
gate, and the gate weighed it was a one piece forward falling, so it weighed like 1,000 pounds.
I remember Alan Busick with his fucking hat and his transponder was out there.
Oh, that stupid speaker, dude. And he always wanted to park by us. We're all friends with Robert.
Yep.
My dad was like, Alan, you parked that fucking truck right here again. Like, I'm tearing that speaker down. He'd make Alan go park it somewhere else.
But Alan would, anytime that Robert was racing, he'd go out into the start and like packed down in front of the gate.
Oh, yeah.
Like 3/4 of the way to the first corner. And no person could ever ride in that straight of a line.
So did, do you remember Chase Dumpy? Remember that
Yes,
name?
I do.
His dad, Tony, would do that. But Tony would go as far, he'd pack it out there, and then he'd take the tip of his broom and draw arrows and write, like, go Chase and, like, all this stuff.
no way.
Like, all the way to the front. His dad was wild, man.
Dude, that's nuts.
If you touched Chase's bike, his dad would come unglued. That was, like, his, like, superstition. He threw Greg Albertson down the hill at Hawk Point so hard one time for touching his bike.
Hawk Point, what a classic.
Point, yeah.
Man, okay, where do you guys ride down there?
Kyle's
Down-
house.
I mean, is that it? I mean, where?
Well, we got Kyle's house, of course, Kyle McCoy, you know, and his track's built for little kids, but it's still fun. Like, it's so close
It's
to the
perfect
house.
for you.
It's perfect for me. It's great. You can go moto and just hang out, and then, you know, it's so close. Of course, Possum Hollow is still open. Go over there quite a bit. The Fishers own it still.
How far Soggy Bottoms for you?
Soggy's only about 20, 30 minutes. Soggy's kind of hit or miss. It's open all the time.
Yeah.
So it's like an honor system, so you can go in there and throw 20 in the envelope. But obviously...
Wow, I didn't know people still ran their tracks like that. That's
Yeah,
wild.
I mean, it's in the middle of nowhere down there by us. It just kind of makes sense. But it, you know, Soggy's one of those places I've never really ridden it prepped. And so I don't, for me, I'll never really complain about a track because they see so many of them close. But for me, I just choose not to go there a whole lot. I think they've done some cool races and done some stuff, but I can never catch it on a prep day.
You got to get in with Trevor Kohler.
Trevor goes out there quite a bit.
Yeah, that's his fucking spot, dude.
Yeah, I know Trevor. He's a pretty cool kid. I ride with him at Possum some.
Yeah.
Matt Hanna has a place. It's like an hour. It's pretty close to like where Radical Rob's used to be. So I'll go to Matt Hanna's house.
I'm so
and
glad
ride.
you called it Radical Robs and not Legends.
That's the name of it.
I know. I'm so glad you did.
And I really liked Bart that had it and called it Legends. But let's be honest, it's Radical Rob's.
It pissed me off whenever they started calling it Triple R Ranch.
That was the next guy, wasn't it? Wasn't that the not Radical
That
Rob?
was after Legends?
No. That was between Radical Rob's
Because there was another Rob that bought it. It was Rob Lilly. It was Blake Lilly's dad that had it. And so
Whatever happened to it? Is it still there?
Amish bought it, man.
Amish.
Bart sold it to the Amish up there. So there's nothing there. The irrigation system for the...
Have you been to fucking Mitchell's and Rolla since they've opened it back up?
I guess not.
Yeah, it's
did you
back
even
up
know?
and going.
Let's meet there.
Dude, I would love to go.
One of my best day racing ever.
You guys hop on 70, cut across. I'll come up 44. Let's meet in the middle.
I'll be honest, though. I don't want to go there until Scott is ready to ride again.
Okay, well, I won't go there until both of you are ready to ride.
Yeah.
Is it?
But I'll meet you there.
The same people open it again?
It's still Mitchell's, yeah.
But
Is it their kid? The son running it now?
I don't know.
Don't know.
Since we're reminiscing, I got one brought up on my Insta last night, or the other night. I posted.
Say Buffalo.
Oh, I was thinking about it, but bear
Okay,
with me.
sorry, go on.
So I posted a picture of me on the two-stroke on Insta, and my buddy Cody Sellers, his family used to own Holler Hill in Montreal. Dude, how sick was Holler Hill?
Holler
The
Hill was
sickest.
sick.
That was, dude, Jimmy and Greg's grandma lived at Lake of the Ozarks. She was so close. We'd go stay with her and go
Yeah.
ride there for
That's
hours.
where we would go stay at my grandma's at the lake, and
Yeah.
then we'd drive and go to that.
Dude,
race.
Holler Hill was the shit. The
Okay.
Thunderbird.
So, one year, when I think I was riding KX80, the one year that I rode KX80s, we went there for the state race.
Yeah.
And we went to Jimmy's grandma's house, and she had that slide into the pool in the
Yeah.
backyard. And I thought it would be funny to go down the slide in like push-up stance or like try to launch off to get as far as I could. And whenever I did, I pushed, but like my hands slipped back and underneath me and they went under the slide. And I like scraped all of the skin off the inside of my wrists on both arms and then went into the chlorinated pool. So it was like pouring acid on it.
Felt super good.
Dude, I mean, that's one of those things that it was so painful, but I was around a bunch of other boys and I had to act like nothing happened.
Yeah.
And like my fun was over.
And of course,
after
all
that.
the dudes you have to race the next day.
Yeah.
Like, so you
Yeah.
have to be tough.
We went, dude, I loved Holler Hill. That was like my favorite track in the world. I think I was probably at that state race. I remember I got a shitty start in like 250C or something. And we came up to the Thunderbird. And I was ripping up the right side of it because you could kind of over jump it.
Yeah.
And I hit the trees up above it. So
Yeah.
I like jumped. It was all, you can't see her. I was like all tucked into like a little ball trying to jump this and in the trees.
They had a downhill start, didn't they? Like a wide open downhill start.
Yeah.
And then it cut back to the left.
Yeah, it went left.
And then back right.
And
then
then
you
was
have that, like,
was
downhill
Jimmy's
triple.
jump or the Nutcracker?
There's the Nutcracker.
There's a Nutcracker. He had
Yeah.
that like step down.
Yep,
Yeah,
into
that
the
jump was
valley
fun.
and went back, had a
Dude, they
right
had like some
180.
fun jumps, had some fun rhythm. That track was the best. I loved that place.
He can't even put his words together.
It was good.
What
Fun.
was the track, Jeff, out in Kansas that we all went in your original Winnebago, and your dad got
It was a 4 wins. We didn't have a Winnebago.
Four
but
wins.
Yeah.
No wins like a 4 win.
got it stuck because it was raining so hard, and we got it stuck.
Oh, that would have been Green Acres.
Green Acres, yes. I couldn't. We were talking about this the other day, and I could not think of the name of it.
So you need to go back and listen to the KMCS banquet show because me and Scott and John Paul chimes in, and then our guest Steven was on, Stephen Kirk. It's a really good episode about Kansas. We talk a lot of old Kansas motocross on that. It's worth listening to. I know you have a hard time doing things for longer than 5 seconds.
Typically, yeah.
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 Hey, are all you might know this, Mike? Are all the Supercrosses not live on TV this
No.
year?
There's like 6 or 7 that aren't live.
Is that not a huge problem? I mean, I guess you just have to go buy
NBC Gold.
the NBC Gold,
But if you
which
buy,
I've used Jason Hamilton's for the outdoors for like 3 years in a
but
row.
if you buy NBC Gold, my understanding is if you buy it now, you get the outdoors as well.
right
If you,
Package
for like
deal.
$80
Yeah.
or something, you get the whole thing. But
So if you get it on NBC Gold, then is it live?
you
yeah.
just you do. But you got to plug your phone or your
yeah,
iPad
I was gonna say
into your
NBC
TV?
Gold. It's just like the outdoors where like everything is live, but even like the downtime is live. So like if you watch the outdoors on NBC Gold, you can see like time
Tractors and stuff
Yeah, you
going
see
and
time.
whatever.
But when practice is over and there's nothing going on, there's just a stationary camera just looking out at the track
Yeah.
for 30 minutes.
That's actually kind of cool. Because I have mine rigged up where I have this guy on my desk that I was talking about. I've got this guy and then a HDMI cable plugged into my TV on my
Yes.
desk, so I can.
Yes,
it would be worth it
yes.
for me to buy it.
But doesn't that just seem like a total like downfall for like the sport itself?
A step
A
backwards.
step backwards. I mean, I guess maybe not because there's so many people cutting the cord on cable and things like that, or we're always on the fucking road to a race or something.
Yeah.
Anyways, I mean, I guess that makes sense. Because I don't know how many I've watched like on my phone or on an iPad driving back from a Texas Winter Series race or whatever.
Yeah.
But
See,
I mean, in general, for the general fan or the general motorsports fan,
so the live part I think sucks that it's not live, but I do think I don't know if it's cool, but it's just interesting that MX Sports and Feld, even though they don't really have a whole lot to do, like NBC is doing both now. So I feel like that's bridging a big.
it'll have a better package. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Or it'll
I
look a
guess
lot-
what I'm saying is like Supercross was always like nobody watched outdoors, it seemed like. But now I feel like now that NBC is doing both, it's going to help outdoor TV coverage. And
Well-
I don't know about Supercross, but
And also now Ralph isn't going to talk about the off season.
he could talk about the outdoors.
he can
now.
actually talk about the outdoors now.
Well, I don't know, because is that a NBC thing
not.
or is that a Feld thing?
they're going to have to talk about it because obviously NBC is going to cross
want the
promote.
ratings.
Well,
Yeah.
that's true, because they talk about tennis. The next coming up next is tennis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they could
Or the
say,
Latua.
yeah,
I think that by and large, big picture, it's a better step for motocross and supercross because it's going to tap into the next generation. Listen, the hardcore motocross people are going to watch it regardless.
We're
whether
going to
it's
buy
next
you're
day,
going to buy the
whether
app,
it's
or you're
NBC
going to
Gold.
you're going to hook it up, figure out what it is.
However it works, you're going to watch it. But the new generation that already has, cut the cord, so to speak, or the cable.
But isn't NBC Sports, don't they charge you for another package? So what's going to be their draw to pay for that package?
Well, let me go ahead and speak for myself and the millions of people just like me. I don't have cable TV. I've never in my life had cable TV.
Right, that's okay. But what about the guy that doesn't have it either? But he's like, all right, man, I'm already streaming. I'm already paying for Netflix per month, buying HBO or Hulu. What makes me want to buy NBC Sports Gold? What's the draw besides Supercross now?
Well,
because Supercross is such a small drop in the bucket.
Well, either they're hardcore enough to do it, or they'll just have to wait until the next day. It's not that big of an inconvenience. And honestly, also, here's the thing. West Coast rounds have a major deficiency for viewership and ratings because it's so fucking late on the East Coast.
Right.
that
The races
whenever-
don't start till
Right.
9. Yeah.
Well,
Or
no,
10.
10 o'clock.
Right.
10 o'clock Eastern time is whenever the first heat race goes. So by the time the race is over, it's, let's see, 11, 12, 1 o'clock.
Yeah, 9 Central's hard enough for us, I feel like.
Right. At
Yeah.
that point, you're like, I watched the first 2 heats. I'll watch the mains first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
The other
makes sense.
thing, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure like I had to buy with DirecTV, I had to buy a special package just to get Fox Sports 1 and Fox Sports 2.
Yeah.
I don't think you have to buy like a special TV package if you are still doing like cable or whatever to get NBC Sports. I think
There
NBC
are-
Sports is in most of your basic packages.
And there are a lot of people that are in that same exact position that already were buying. Now, here's the thing. We've got a shit ton of people that are talking shit about it. You know, obviously the most dissatisfied customer is going to speak the loudest. And satisfied customers don't speak up because they're satisfied. They have nothing to talk about.
Bad news travels way faster than good news.
Way
But,
faster.
okay,
yeah.
but here's the other thing is like, you know, you see all this stuff and you want to see people talk about growing the sport and this and that from all of your people at Husqvarna or like how they do the USMCA thing or, I mean, any of the brands, not really, I guess it's Husky and KTM, let's put it that way, because they have the junior challenge and all that. But like, you're not going to, I don't feel like if you have this elite, this niche, it's obviously a niche sport and a niche market anyways, but you're only promoting this to that same niche amount of people. You're
Right, or
not
if it was
reaching
still
out
live
for
on
new
TV, a guy
viewers
could
or
find
new.
it flipping through channels on
Now, hold on.
accident.
Now, hold on. When are people flipping through channels more? Saturday night at 10 o'clock or Sunday afternoon at 1 p.m.?
That's a good point, but I think it just, I actually
Depends on your
I don't know.
demographic.
It depends, yeah.
Because I can tell you this much. I'm more likely to watch it on Sunday than I am on Saturday night because I like to do things on Saturday.
Yeah,
See,
but you're still young enough. What about a guy that's
But the average demographic of a motocross fan is 18 to 45 years old.
But here's
Those
the
are
thing
people
too,
that are
is if
watching.
you, okay, but look at your hardcore fans. Saturday night's plan is watching the race somewhere.
Yeah.
So now you're relying, yeah,
I mean, I haven't read into it enough to have a whole big dog in this fight, but aren't some of the rounds still live on TV though?
Yeah.
Am I okay?
Half.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I was told there was like 6 or 7 that aren't live, but
Okay,
I haven't
so-
actually researched it.
yeah, I mean, I don't
Italian,
really know
I
a
don't-
lot about it either, but I'm just talking maybe market wise or growing the sport or whatever
But
you
I'll
want
be
to
the
call
first
it.
to tell you, like the NBC sports package for outdoors, it didn't make a shit to me. I don't watch outdoors that much.
Yeah.
I get bored. I fall asleep. I'll be completely honest. I can't watch outdoors on TV.
I mean, I won't lie. I
It's
fall
soothing.
asleep watching Supercross and outdoors. I'll
I
fall
can do
asleep watching both.
Supercross
It
for
just
the
depends.
most part, but I get bored out of I can't sit there and watch outdoors. And I love outdoors.
If you got 4 guys that are sitting here that are fucking diehard motocross fans.
I mean, we're doing a motocross podcast.
Right. Yeah. Obviously. Yeah.
I gotta go.
Wait,
I gotta
wait.
go to this. Good to see you guys.
What does it say about the racing whenever we fall asleep watching it? Is it the racing? Is it the coverage? Or is it the time?
Well, the racing, the time haven't changed for many, many years.
I would say it's all of it. I will say I think the Triple Crowns are the coolest thing that they have with the 3 main events, or just like kind of like they did with Arena Cross. Just because they're shorter races. Like, I mean, Justin Brayton won one. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
whatever. You have, like, a guy like Justin Hill's going to have a better chance to win something like that. Or your rookies, you mix it up a little bit more, which I think that's pretty cool. But the thing is, if you look at it from the athlete's point of view, they're totally getting screwed. Because they're riding the track twice as much. Because
I just
the
don't know how
Triple
to
Crown
make.
this
I
year,
don't know how to make the racing though more exciting because, you know, people say, and I guess it's fanship, and I've seen this argument a couple times online. But you know, people talk about sitting down and watching a football game. There's a lot of lull in the action of football, but somehow you're still involved.
Dude, football, I'm not going to be able to accurately nail down the statistic, but it is something in the ballpark of only 10% of the television package of football is actual
Yeah.
game time.
Yeah, but you're still glued to it.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know what.
It's the violence.
Have you guys always been bored with outdoors? Because see, I used to not be bored with outdoors, and as I got older, I feel like maybe we've changed in the sense of like I used to be able to watch all of outdoors, like
It's
all 4 motos.
it's outdoors. It's in the middle of the day on your Saturday. You got other shit to do.
That's part
You
of
got
it.
to go to the grocery store.
Even
You
if
got
I
to run some
record it,
errands. You got somewhere to be.
even if I record it and I want to sit down and watch it later, I don't make it through it.
I do.
I do.
I
It just
can- I don't
depends.
know.
Even
I
more
can.
so now.
If I do watch the races, I watch all 4 motos start to finish. But I'm not necessarily going to watch the races.
But see, I also think like a lot of it has nothing to do with the coverage or the races. A lot of it has to do with like social media because like Racer X, they do their highlight video.
Odds are you've already seen it before you watch it.
Yeah, like I mean, like
Kind of ruins the effect,
I could
maybe.
I could get on Monday morning if I recorded the outdoors, watch the Racer X highlight video that 10,000 people have shared, and it shows up on my news feed 70 times. Yeah. I watched that and I'm like, well, there's no reason for you to watch the race because clearly those were the exciting points.
Right. Or like if you don't watch the Supercross Saturday night, like, oh, fuck, I can't touch my phone or I
Right.
can't.
Yeah,
I
right.
have to watch the race before I even get out of bed.
Yes.
Or if I want to watch it and be surprised.
Yeah,
by
because
it.
I'm in a fantasy Supercross league deal, and like one of the we made up some dumb rules for our league, but one of them if the race is going on, you have to go to like do not disturb on it. Like you can't check your messages.
Yeah.
because it'll get ruined. Like you have to tell each other like before the start of the night, like, hey, if you guys aren't watching the race, I'm not either. Like we're not watching,
Right.
And so because it'll get ruined, and then what's the point of watching it? I feel like.
If we could only bring back the days of 1/900 pro race.
I was just getting ready to say that where you call it and then you're like, "Dang, last week's results are still on. Come on, guys, update it.
I
Update
need
it.
cycle
Yeah.
news. Is that thing coming yet?
Yeah.
Need the newest issue.
I don't know. I mean, I don't. And okay, so here's the other part. Is it because NBC Sports has it, or is it because Fox 1 has it? Is it because ESPN doesn't have it, even though ESPN is struggling because of all the other ones? You know what I mean?
So here's what I can tell you. And I just learned this the other day, but Feld has appointed the producer for the Supercross program for the TV. Back whenever it was AMA, Supercross and they owned it, they appointed ESPN to produce it. So that's the difference between then and now. That's why the coverage is so different. Whenever ESPN had the coverage, they ran it like it was a professional sport. Okay? They assumed that whenever you watched it, you knew what was going on. And if you didn't, well, the same thing, you watch a fucking basketball game. If it's your first time watching a basketball game, within 5 minutes, you're going to get it figured out. Okay? Same thing. Motocross is not that hard. Supercross is not that hard to understand. Mm-hmm. So whenever they do this fucking SX 101 type shit, it's so pointless.
It makes it.
But what I think would help the Supercross programming per se, and we wouldn't like it probably because we are the hardcore fans, but why not change Supercross essentially? I know it'd be a shorter program, kind of, but there's so much racing throughout the night. People have to get bored. I think your night show that's on TV honestly should just be the mains.
It's like you do, like Monster Cup does, qualifying during the day.
Yeah.
And then you run.
Just like, and I mean, I know this is a shitty example because, whatever, but look at NASCAR. You don't turn into the broadcast and be like, oh, I hope this guy gets to start up front by qualifying fast. Qualifying's done, bro.
However, they do televise the qualifying sessions, but it's the day before.
But it's on its own.
Yeah.
And it's like during the day on like Speed 2 or something stupid,
If there was anything that I could implement into Supercross is I would take out, and this fucks the privateers, but frankly, if you want to be part of the professional show, professional up, okay? And if you can't do it, well, guess what? There's local arena cross races that you make $800 a night instead of losing money. I think that we should implement the Super Pole like they do at the European Supercross races, and I think that we should get rid of the nighttime qualifying, even though a lot of it is such good racing. See, that's the hard part.
That's the problem is, I look at it too, and this is, once again, I've come back with kind of a bad example, but like you go to Jay's arena crosses, and a guy, like the pro class runs first, 250 pro or whatever. Mm-hmm. Dude, so many people leave. They're like, pros are done.
Yeah.
Why are people like, they see a great race and they're like, well, that was awesome, whatever.
Bye.
Yeah. Well, that guy won that race, so I'm out. I'm going to go do whatever now. Like, I think you could do a Super Bowl deal, but I think the night shows need to just be some mains,
I think another thing too. Did you guys watch any of the pre-show or whatever?
I haven't.
I didn't really watch it.
I didn't get to watch it.
So I've just watched some of the videos on YouTube, like the insight on like a 3-minute video or 10-minute video on Ken Roxon, and they have one on Justin Barsh or whatever. I think things like that and making that social media available would make a bigger difference than anything. And I think they're doing it right because they're professionally done and it goes into their background and things like that.
Right. And I mean, it's the same thing they do on NFL. I mean, you turn into the Chiefs game today, they're going to end up doing some kind of badass backstory on Patrick Mahomes or somebody.
Right.
That's going to make you feel like you know them better.
Right.
If I tune into a Supercross, although I'm a fan, if I don't know any better, I'm going to go, who the hell is Eli Tomac?
Right. Why do I know information about Patrick Mahomes' high school quarterback that he beat out? Because Patrick can
they've
throw the
put
ball way
together
better.
a great
You know what I mean?
piece that makes you want to watch it.
And so the thing is the other part is NBC Sports enough of a draw? Like, are people going to flip to that? Are they going to go, okay, you always check ESPN on Monday night to see what game's on or Saturday night to see, but are people checking NBC Sports like they check ESPN?
I mean, they're going to have to build it. I mean, they've done a great job with the Golf Channel. I'll say that.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously,
You can't watch outdoor motocross, but you can watch golf.
I can watch golf all day.
Oh.
You don't play golf.
I could watch 54-6 30-minute motos, 30-minute motos of 54-6 before I could watch golf.
Dude, I would literally claw my eyes out if I had to watch 54-6 for 30 minutes. But I could sit there. I will watch golf all day.
Wow.
But I don't know. I think a big part of it, they're going to have to drive it on social media, especially if you're getting people to buy the app and watch it on the go or watch it on the
Here's
app.
my other thing. I don't know this about the app. So if you don't have Fox Sports 1, you could buy the Fox Sports 1 Go app or whatever.
Well, yeah, it's not on Fox Sports anymore. But yeah.
Well, no, I know.
essentially
No,
last year,
last year,
Yeah,
you could buy that app, but you also got like basketball. You got whatever was on Fox Sports 1.
You
get-
can pick and choose.
It's essentially kind of like if you wanted to watch a series on HBO, you could pay for HBO Now.
Right. So is NBC Sports the gold package? Do you just get the motocross, or do you get anything that's on NBC
I don't know what
Sports?
other sports you get with it.
Because for me, I'm not a big sports guy, so like I didn't use that part of Fox Sports 1, but that would also be a big turnoff.
That would have to be the draw. And like me, like I'm a big, I love watching football. So for me, like, why would I pay for Sunday Ticket and NBC Sports Gold and all this? I would need something to encompass more.
Yeah.
Well, it's not Olympic year, but whenever the Olympics are on, if you have NBC Sports Gold,
You get more Olympic coverage.
Well, that's what I'm asking,
Okay.
though. Is like, does NBC Sports Gold, it's not just motocross
No.
that you get. You get whatever's on that
everything
channel.
that's on
you
there.
can watch
okay.
the tour or Manchester United playing whoever.
yeah.
Well, I mean, it's one package. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's just NBC Sports Gold. It's not just Supercross package.
So then why do they charge more if you want motocross?
Because it's a separate
It's a whole year subscription.
instead of a.
Oh, instead, okay.
6
So,
months or 3
so you're
months
really
or
not
whatever.
purchasing a Supercross subscription and a motocross subscription.
You know what? I don't know the answer to that now that you bring it up.
See, I think you are. That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like you're buying just the Supercross and motocross coverage. Like, I don't think you're getting the whole channel. But I could be wrong.
I mean, for me, it adds up, honestly, to do that because I know that last year, whenever I bought YouTube,
Yeah.
YouTube TV had Fox Sports 1. It was $20 a month for that. So it cost us, it cost us $100 just to watch Supercross for me.
Yeah.
So it's actually more
But that's just for the year, though. Or is that for a month?
$20 a month. I bought it for 5 months to pay for the Supercross season.
Okay. So, I mean, it's still cheaper than buying a cable package, obviously.
Fuck yeah, way cheaper.
It's also still cheaper than going
Yes.
to the race.
Except for whenever you worked for them, you got to go pretty cheap then.
That was, it was a little bit better than pretty cheap. Yeah. Yeah. So let's talk about next weekend.
Anaheim won.
Seasoner opener. Seasoner?
Seasoner opener.
Seasoner opener. I think I heard a niner in there.
Makes my pants fit tight in the front. I'm excited.
Call it car ramrod.
Say
For as
car
much
ramrod.
shit as I just talked about Supercross coverage, I'm so excited.
Yeah. Good transition.
Here comes my
Got everybody hyped
Here
up.
comes my hypocrisy. Yeah.
So I'm not really going to dive into, who's going to do what, who's going to be the star, who's going to be the next 450cc champion, Monster Energy Supercross. I don't care about that. I want to talk about Over the Bars Live.
Over the bars.
OTB Live.
OTB.
So for the first time, we're going to do a live show at the go-kart track. Guys, what's the name of the place?
Oh my God.
Go-karts. It just says
It's in
go-karts outside of the building.
What is it called?
Grand Prix?
Grand Prix.
Raytown
Oh my
Grand Prix.
God. We're
Jesus.
doing a terrible
How do
job.
I not know the name of the
I don't
place?
know
Look
either.
it up.
God,
Look it up.
this is really
We're
bad.
really excited about this.
So it's at the electric go-kart track in
In
Raytown, Missouri, and it's going to be hosted by Donnell's. We've got a whole party room reserved that's going to be,
Extreme Grand Prix.
Extreme Grand Prix. Thank you. Can you pull up the address of it? So Donnell's is renting out the... Okay, here we go. God damn it. Extreme Grand Prix Family Fun Center. Address, 6731 Blue Ridge Boulevard, Raytown, Missouri. Phone number, 816-286-4156. Here's the deal. It is a electric go-kart track similar to Pole Position Raceway. And Donnell's is renting out the facility. Normally, they're only open, let's see, on Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., but Donnell's is reserving the track for motocross people only, or Donnell's customers only, after 9. So from 9 until, what, am I off?
No, you're good.
Oh, why are you shaking your head?
I'm not 100% sure it's motocross people only, but I'm pretty sure the whole place is going to be full of motocross only people.
If you ride a jet ski, you're welcome to come, or an aqua tracks.
What I'm saying is,
if you've been a Donnell's customer,
I think even if you're not a Donnell's customer, you can still go and drive go-karts at.
Yeah, it's
the
an
event.
open. It's
we're
an
going to
open
judge you if you're
invite
not a
Yes.
Donnell's customer.
to the local
but
racing community, regardless of who you ride for, what you ride. I'm going to be there. I ride Cycle Zone KTM. I'm going to be there.
I have a Suzuki. Technically, I could be part of Donnell's team.
Yep.
You should be.
Anyway,
Give me some fender stickers.
Saturday night, 9 o'clock is whenever the main the TV program starts. Before that, probably 7:30 to 9 o'clock is what I'll say. 7:30, 9 o'clock, we're going to do Over the Bars live. So that's about an hour and a half of motocross, supercross talks. We're gonna have all the information on supercross prepped up, ready to go. We'll have a PA live inside of the building, or inside of the specific reserved party room. Come and join us. We're going to have an open mic. We're just going to shoot the shit about supercross, about Donnell's. Bart's going to come in. We're going to talk about go-karts, racing, motocross, supercross, local, national, supercross. Let me say supercross like 5 more times. Supercross.
Mm-hmm.
Supercross. 7:30 OTB live. Now,
And then you get to watch Supercross.
and then we have the actual live watch party. We
Are
got
you going
projection
to announce?
screens,
So you can put it on
TVs.
mute so we don't have to hear Ralph? Or are you going to announce? Are we going to let Mike?
We talked about doing that, but I think that, dude, as fun as that would be for us, we like hearing the bikes.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Plus,
That was a fair question, though.
yeah, and I mean, I don't think Ralph is bad.
I don't mind him.
Yeah, I don't think. I think he's actually fucking phenomenal.
I
at the
get
job.
mad whenever he calls people the wrong name or says something. Sometimes he says things where I'm like, bro, come on.
Okay.
Cut me a little slack here.
It's the program. It's
Dude,
not Ralph.
let me just say this: whenever we do OTB Race Companion, it is so fucking hard to say the right thing in the moment. It is so hard to say the right thing.
I still love Art Ekman, even though multiple times he has called James Stewart James Carmichael and Ricky Carmichael Ricky Stewart.
Yep. Dude, you get them mixed up. Yeah. Yeah. Or like he would say stuff like on the blue.
I'm pretty sure that actually Art
Yamaha.
Ekman was the inventor of Jimmy McGarth.
Yeah.
If you're going to start talking shit on Art Ekman, I got to go.
No. We're
The man.
Yeah. Whoa.
I was very
Nobody-
disappointed he was not Red Bull straight.
Yeah, that was a bummer.
That ruined the whole event for me. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm gonna just go ahead and leave. Good
Yeah.
to see
So
you guys.
anyways, plan on being at Grand Prix.
Show up at 7 o'clock or whenever it is.
Actually,
you wanna, I mean,
I
we're
know-
going to be there a couple hours in advance.
So we're going to do OTB live in the party room. You'll have then we'll have the race starting. Then what's going on for the night is you're going to have the fastest lap of go-kart drivers. They're pilots, go-kart pilots. The fastest lap
Go-kart goers,
is
Branson.
going to take home the Donnell's Piston Cup. So get there early, get there whatever. Maybe show up right in time to do one lap and go win the whole thing.
Yeah, you can
But
come in. You can,
Maybe you just need one 30 seconds.
you can run practice laps. You can run race laps. Whatever. You'll have your name with your information in the computer. Whenever you're out on the track, if you can set the fastest lap time, then you get the trophy. And we'll be talking about that while the show goes on. We'll get updates about that and kind of do a little shit shooting about that.
Some live timing.
Yeah, and I think you'll get the Donnell's Piston Cup. I don't know if there's going to be prizes and stuff that go with that. Either way, it's major bragging rights, and that's really all that matters. So if you're in Kansas City, that's the place to be for Anaheim 1.
And also, we're going to I don't think that we're going to we will do quick little updates from OTB Live. Mike and I will on our Facebook page. We want you to come, though. We're not going to air the whole thing on our Facebook FB Live. Come to the event. But the show will be recorded for everybody that's not in the Kansas City area. We'll record it and then release it the next day, so you'll be able to listen to us shoot the shit about Kansas City and Supercross.
Oh, yeah. Are you going to Daytona again this year? Are you announcing anything this
I don't
year?
know. I hope so.
It'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure.
So I'm excited to talk about all the stuff, kind of the preseason talk. You know what I mean? Kind of because you'll be talking after practice, so you'll have an idea of where guys are standing, and then be able to put all that together.
See if they're living up to the hype.
Yeah, see kind of who's bringing it in, who makes the gate, who doesn't make the gate, who, if somebody weeds it before the event starts or in practice or whatever, kind of see how the season's actually going to get started. I think it's going to be. I think you got a pretty good set of riders that are going to be on the gate this year. I mean, you got Reed in his 22nd season of racing. You've got a bunch of rookies just moved up.
I'm excited.
Riders,
I'm excited for that. I'm
stuff.
always excited for the year, though. But that's the negativity in me too coming out. It's like, somebody will end up just winning every round. It'd be boring as hell again. I hope I'm wrong.
I don't think there will be a dominant rider.
I hope not. I don't want to see that.
Especially not if Jeff Crutcher, factory muff rider, if he decides to enter a race or two.
Those poor
on a 125
class.
SX.
On a 125, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That poor 250 class.
Without the St. Louis Supercross now, his dreams are crushed.
Yep.
So I think I'm going to go to Indianapolis and race amateur day. Plus 25, plus 30.
When is that?
You should.
April. Something like that. I was going to ride the fucking all-star class. It's already sold out every race.
That's
Wow.
stupid.
It makes me wonder, why didn't they do these a long time ago?
Amateur
Didn't they
Day
do amateur
Supercross?
day
Yeah.
Supercrosses
Yeah.
long? Why? I guess they got away with it to run arena cross.
My dad brought out a whole bunch of pictures of your dad and my dad riding the Arrowhead Amateur Day at Supercross.
So sick.
Did you guys see that picture that Derek Gibson drew up for Jeff, for Callie's dad?
Yeah, that's
we got
cool.
him for Christmas.
Rad. Yeah.
That thing is kick ass.
I didn't see that.
Super cool.
I saw it was good.
Anyway,
Dude, how sick would it be if Arrowhead that place would be packed?
Yeah.
I say that.
I don't know, dude. I'm curious to see how the Denver Supercross does.
I'm really bummed. I was going to go to Nashville, but I can't make it. I had some stuff come up. I'm really bummed. That one would have been fun, just for the city and the Supercross. I think that's a good fit.
I do too.
I like that one. Denver has me a little sketchy though.
It could be ice.
Yeah, Denver's got me a little on the
snowcross?
fence.
Yeah. That would be sick, actually.
Is it an open stadium?
It's open air stadium, Mile High is.
Denver is?
Yeah.
yeah, always has been.
I guess I never put all this together.
I mean, it's like Seattle. They run Seattle and it
Jersey.
rains.
Yeah, but
whatever,
when is
Jersey.
Denver?
I'll pull that up.
Denver's one of the last rounds. It's late April.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh,
So they're trying.
yeah.
Mike, okay, so what's keeping them from bringing it to Kansas City? Is it? Do you think it's something to do with Arrowhead? With
No,
Yeah.
There's not enough demand for it.
but St. Louis had the demand all those
Yeah, but
years?
look at
Yeah.
it did for a lot of years, but then look at how bad St. Louis fell off in the
Right.
last few.
Well, I mean, okay, we can relate this back to look at places to ride. I mean, just in general.
It's April 13th in Denver.
I also want to know maybe if it has to do with I understand there's still some sketchy stadiums, but stadium quality because
Well, yeah, St. Louis is falling apart because the
Yeah.
Rams moved.
They have nothing there.
Yeah, there's nothing there. They do a boat show there and that one flat track, late model car race in
Yeah.
there. Other than
didn't
that,
even
dude,
know
that
that.
place is. They don't even
Yeah.
do They used to do the state football championships there. They don't even do that there anymore.
yeah.
Are you ready for this?
Dun, dun, dun.
Did a little Google searching. In most years, Denver averages a daily maximum temperature for April that's between 55 and 66 degrees Fahrenheit. The minimum temperature usually falls between 31 and 37.
That's
Not
not
very
bad.
cold.
Okay.
Is it because it's mile high, probably? Just where it is? It's kind of a desert, really, I guess you could say. It's in the mountains.
I wouldn't say that.
I don't know.
I have no idea.
It's in a desert. There's a desert in Colorado.
I mean, that's where Tomac
Western
lives.
Colorado is
Colorado.
deserty.
So I guess that would be past Denver.
I don't know my geology.
It's a
let
high
alone-
desert. But what you're talking about, Scott, no, huh?
I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know
I
what
don't
I'm
know
talking about.
what
I
the-
usually don't.
I don't know. I haven't been to Colorado since I was a little kid, so I couldn't tell you. I don't know.
Okay, Smokey McGee. Whatever you want to say. Fucking liar. Hey, so I don't know if you guys know about this.
Saturday watch party, Donnell's
Yeah.
Extreme Go-Kart.
That's right. Be
Extreme Grand
there
Prix.
at no later than 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
We'll get the party rolling at 7:30.
Doors are getting locked at 7:01 if you're not in there.
It's going to be a lock-in where you have to stay all night.
Yeah.
And you have to listen to everyone talk on the mic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's another thing. You don't have to listen to the show the entire time. You can go out, race go-karts, hang out in the bar, or whatever. We'll just have our little party going on
Without you.
without you. Yeah.
It's going to be really cool.
Is there anything you guys would like to add? We're right at the 2-hour mark. Scott, I know you got to go to do the Chiefs party thing.
Go Chiefs.
That's the main thing I need to add.
You got me. I'm just along for the ride. Just thanks for having me. God, you guys all look so great.
I'm so glad you could come on. It's cool.
It felt right.
Yeah.
Felt good. Hey guys, long time listener, first time caller. Want to hear Kiss lick it up for the boys back at the office, okay?
So that's the next show they'll probably get.
Yeah, that'll be the next one. Is the recording from Over the Bars Live.
Wish I could make it up. Be a lot of fun.
Well, you could.
I could, but I'm not gonna.
Yeah. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Okay, so thanks to our sponsors, Donnell's Motorcycles Incorporated in beautiful Independence, Missouri, located on East 40 Highway and 470. Thanks to Bar to Bar MX, Kansas's voted #1 track in Kansas by the Kansas Motocross Championship Series racers. And to our third and final sponsor, KMCS, the Kansas Motocross Championship Series.
Didn't we pick up Sickwicks as a sponsor?
Oh no, I was just giving
Oh, just because
them,
you... Yeah, okay, gotcha, never mind.
Just
okay.
giving them a little
So
love.
yeah, and then one note about Bar to Bar. They moved their qualifier.
Oh yeah,
Make a note for that
it's,
from the
now
first
on
weekend in
15th
March.
and 16th.
No, it was on the 15th and 16th. Now it's like the 30th and 30th. It's the last weekend in
okay,
March
yeah.
now. So
Rock on.
put
Better
that on your
weather.
calendar. Should be better weather.
Do March 28th.
Cool.
Oh, by the way, Mike, did you race RC cars last night?
Thanks for bringing up that topic. Appreciate that.
I just wanted to ask really quickly before we.
No.
Did you
You didn't go, or you performed
I went.
poorly?
did you participate?
I went. We didn't race.
No.
No.
What did you do?
I just wasn't feeling it. I don't know why. You know, before the show started, we were talking about when you, like, if you work in motocross, sometimes the last thing you want to do on your day off is go race motocross.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. So I work in RC, which I love it. Don't get me wrong. I love RC cars. But I just was not in the mood to RC yesterday.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I was more in the mood. This is literally what I did. I was more in the mood to go to Home Depot and buy 29 2x4s so that Brittany could build a shelf in the garage.
And that's what you did?
And that's what we did.
So did you go to the races?
Yeah, we went there.
Okay.
But I was just like, I'm just not feeling it today.
Okay.
Bye.
Yeah. Howdy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like it. I've pulled into the track before and left.
Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly what I did.
I don't think I've ever done that.
I don't know
done
if I've
that.
ever done that either.
Gabe, what's your business venture with? We haven't
If
released
you
the
need
name yet.
stickers, call Gabe.
I can do it. I can't really. I don't want to say the name yet. We've got the domain. We've got things going, but I don't want to release it until it's live. But yeah, essentially, we're not doing motocross graphics. We're not doing stuff like that. We're essentially your handout. So
Yeah. Promotional decals.
Yeah. So obviously, funny you mention it. Mufflers. I've actually been in contact with those guys, and
Yeah.
I've done a lot of their decals for helmets and things like that. So
And you did Scott's stuff
Yeah.
too for
done
Innovative.
Innovative MX stuff. So yeah, those guys have hit us up. We've got them some quality products. So basically a promotional style handout, decals. We can also do magnets. So if you want to do a lot of
Ooh, I
magnets
didn't
for
know that.
something.
That's fun.
So if you've
Yeah.
got a business or a brand or
Business,
a
a brand,
product
if you're
or
a
whatever,
band, if you're an artist, whatever, if you just want some stickers that you think's funny to hand out to your homies, then we can do them. Minimum of 10.
will you do a run of Air Wheelie stickers
I will do custom 308s just for you.
or
I'm 8 on the CR.
or number 8s?
Do you want 8? Do you want 8? I can do 8 instead. I'll actually do 8 for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I still have the Air Wheelie artwork file. Actually, Ronnie's selling Air Wheelie stickers on his site.
Is he?
Yeah.
That's awesome. 69 on the side of the bike. Yeah.
Yeah, 69. So, yeah,
What was the original number on the bike, or did it have?
It was a 1.
It was a 1.
It was a 1, yeah. It was classic right there. Man, everybody in the Missouri State site hated us so bad.
There was like 30-something pages on that, if not more.
They hated us tremendously. I still don't really know why.
I wonder if you could resurrect it.
I don't know. Be worth checking.
Anything can make a comeback.
Air Wheelies needs an Instagram.
Dude, why have you never done that?
I don't know. We need to see if the name's available. Maybe go for it.
I'm sure it is.
I'll give you
Maybe
guys.
not now.
I'm gonna go register it right now and sell it to you for $50.
That's what I paid for originally. Done and done.
Yeah.
How do you want the check writable?
Yeah.
I'm going to post date it for the 15th.
Don't
Don't cash
this.
that. Yeah.
Hold on to this one.
Yeah.
But after the 15th, it'll be good.
Scott, what's the next move for Innovative MX?
Right now, I'm working on stuff just for 2019. I've got some new clothes coming out. As you can see, this hoodie I'm wearing.
Yeah, that's badass.
Looks like wearing a hug. It looks so comfortable.
Yeah, I know. So everybody needs to get that. I'm waiting on a couple more things to come. Shout out to Avery Hickey, one of our moto guys with Free Motion Clothing.
Oh, yeah.
He did all the printing and everything for me. Actually brought it to me because he came into town for family stuff. So he brought it.
Had I known about this, I could have hand-delivered some Air Wheelie stickers.
Yeah. So anyways, we've got some new clothing stuff coming out, which is just cool because we're finally doing that. And then I'm working on details for Mega Camp.
Fuck yeah.
I'm gonna try to take some of the schools on the road a little bit more. I've got some tracks I'm talking to try to kind of spread the love a little bit further. I'm wanting to go to east a little bit, maybe north, kind of whatever. Just kind of play it by ear, and want to try to make Mega Camp even bigger. We've got some ideas, and we're gonna try to crank some of that up right after the first of the year, which is Wednesday.
We've got 2 days to crank it up.
Start cranking.
So really, in a couple weeks, we'll say in a couple weeks, I'll really have some more stuff going on.
Mike, do you have any large moves?
I'm probably going to get lunch at either Buffalo Wild Wings or Big Whiskey's.
Bone in or
Love
bone
me
out?
some big whiskeys.
I would probably say bone. Today's a bone out day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you a big Whiskies fan?
Yeah, I'm a big Whiskey's fan.
Yeah?
Yeah.
My buddy owns all those. He started them.
Come on.
Does he want to sponsor a podcast?
Maybe. I can
Wow.
Dude.
Who cares about a podcast? Sponsor me.
Hey.
I eat at Big Whiskey's all the time.
Okay, fine. Leave us out of it, Mike.
There's a bunch of them down by us. That's where they all started.
That's the only one I've ever been to.
Dude, my
It's down
days.
by
I'm
us,
eating
or at
Big
least
Whiskey's
some of
now.
yours.
That's my
Yeah.
big move for the day. Big
There you
Whiskey.
go.
Yeah. No, actually, big moves. What?
Will you be speaking into a microphone anywhere?
Well, that's what I was thinking of. Like, I've got a lot of RC stuff coming up.
Yeah.
Like, there's a big RC race called the Reedy Race of Champions, and I think we're going to California for that. And then from there, I don't know. Daytona's kind of in the works, maybe.
Okay.
Hopefully return to Daytona.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks for listening to Over the Bars.